Good morning. Welcome to Flat Earth Early Bird number 2540. I'm your host Arwin, and before I start the show, please don't forget to share it on any platform you deem fit, and if you haven't already, follow me here on Rumble and be here when I'm going live, which is normally 2 p.m. Amsterdam time every day. And please also do support me through the gift card, PayPal, Patreon, Gifts and Go. Links are all in the description box below, or send me super chat over at the Rumble live chat when the show is live, or subscribe to my channel and support me that way. Any support would be greatly appreciated. I can really use it a lot. Alright, so please support your local Arwin. That would be great. Alright, weather today it's quite beautiful. It's gotten a bit cloudy, but it was really neat. Clear blue skies, a lot of sun. It's just kind of sheep clouds moving in a bit. But yeah, it's been really nice. It's been up a bit and busy. I mean, it's really like, it's warmer, it's much warmer. It's really nice out there. Like, it feels like a spring day almost. But I mean, it's not yet. And it's gonna probably get colder a bit. Right, anyhow, hope everybody is having a great weekend. It is Saturday, the 7th of February 2026. Temperature is 11 degrees Celsius, 75% humidity, 13 kilometers an hour wind, 0% precipitation. And now the entire forecast of the coming week is shifted upwards in its entirety. Oh, might go freezing again next weekend. But looks like, yeah, 11, 10, 7, 8, 9 degrees. Would be kind of nice. Great. Looking forward to it. Yeah, right. So I hope everybody's having a great weekend. I'm doing much better. My back is like improved a lot. It's still not perfect. It's kind of stiff, but I mean I can do most things again. I still have to be careful, like lifting stuff. But yeah, I did have no trouble whatsoever getting out of bed, no shocks in the back or anything. So it's just mostly a bit stiff, and that'll probably last a few more days. But yeah, feels much better. Right, so yeah, yesterday more complications, because it seems like Discord is gonna give up on my Windows installation the 2nd of March. So yeah, I have decided to actually go ahead and install Linux after all. Because I mean, all the other things I could I could keep going and do without, but I mean, if I'm not gonna have Discord, this is gonna really cut me off in communication. So I'm just going ahead and installing Linux. But yeah, first I have to clone my current disk to make a backup, and that's what I'm doing right now. And see if that works. And then if it works, then I can wipe the disk, one that's in there, and start the install. See what that's gonna be like. I do to my back. It's just just going through your back. It's because of the temperature. It freezed up. Lower back freezed up. It's a typical problem, especially around the winter. When the temperatures go up and down and up and down, that can happen. So it was all locked up, but yeah, I mean, it's recovering pretty quick. Yesterday, okay. Right. So yeah, man, the troll army already made a visit with the downvotes before I even start the show. I mean, this is ridiculous. Whatever, man. Right, but yeah, I'm moving into new grounds with my computer, and I'm kind of nervous about it because I think that probably all programs that I use are also readily available at Linux. But I mean, for me, it's just I've never done it before, so I'm really nervous about it, and I hope it's gonna be a while until I've got like everything attuned. But who knows? It might happen much quicker than I think. I mean, Linux has apparently come a very long way since like even 10 years ago. So yeah. And for me, it's kind of funny because I'll probably even have the ability to get back to some older stuff that was, that I couldn't access anymore because I couldn't update anymore. So I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what I'm now going to be able to do, and even like how my computer is going to be running, because Linux is a lot more efficient on average from what I've heard than Windows. And so yeah, it's kind of an adventure for me. But yeah, that's what I'm doing this weekend mostly. It could be that tomorrow I'm not gonna really do a show because I'm gonna be too busy with this. Although I could probably just, if everything works fine, just switch the clone disk and then do the show on Windows, and then after that get back to Linux, installing and all that, all the software. So yeah. Put that in the title. Finally updating the Linux, because it is finally. And a lot of people have been recommending me to do that years ago. But I'm such a creature of habit, and I'm just like, no, this is working, I'll keep going. But yeah, I mean, when all things just stop working one by one, well then yeah, there's no point in trying to hold on if it's just dying out. Right, you could say like, oh, off the internet's working just fine, like yay. But I mean, 90% of what I do with it is on the internet, so yeah, I just need to move on, and that's what I'm doing. Really glad to have some enthusiastic help with it. But yeah, that's what's going on, and I'm like enthusiastic, relieved, and a bit nervous, and I don't know, I got a whole mixed bag of feelings all over the place. It's weird. also much more energy. But that was yesterday already. Like yesterday I had like this a lot of energy. I mean, that really showed during the show as well. Should be a bit calmer now. But I mean, I still feel pretty strong. Like there's stuff to do. And I'm really curious to see like how this is gonna work with Linux, like what the difference is gonna be if I can get used to it. Any unforeseen problems? Although I anticipate there's not gonna be that many unforeseen problems even. So and I mean there's like a lot of good little videos out, like there's so many instruction videos out there now. Like I never realized how many of them were there. And also even like the Google search system like has automated AI integration in it just through the browser. And I mean it is also very useful to find your way. So yeah, I find myself using AI after all, but just through the Google search engine per default, really. And I do appreciate it. Like it is a pretty good system. Right? Instead of just, well, finding good websites or whatever that have instructions, the AI just literally lifts it out for you. That's really what's going on, I think. But yeah, it's quick. And I mean, I wouldn't want it to tell me what history is or the news or whatever, but for like technical things it's extremely useful. Right. Didn't post any new clips, didn't get to that. It's kind of weird also because like the Discord app just collapsed. I don't know how the hell that happened. But I'm doing it through the browser, but I mean it seems to be pretty much identical. Like you can't even really see the difference in OBS. It's just the same thing. Right, but yeah, with all these programs just collapsing one at a time, it's been like ooh, what the hell? Nothing there. That's weird. Yeah. I just had to do it, and I'm doing it, and yeah, I'm nervous about it, and I feel like talking about it, but I mean, I don't really want to like fill an hour with just talking about it. I'm gonna update the Linux. So don't worry about that. Jesus, 97. Well, I guess it does really, like, this whole bot army stuff, it does really add to the the money that I'm getting, I guess, through ads or whatever. So yeah, I appreciate it. Thanks for all the nonsense trolls with the downvotes. I mean, nobody really cares about it, but I think it is adding to viewership money, so I appreciate that. Keep it up. For whatever reason you do it, I don't care. Right, so yeah, let's see what's going on out there. What? Oh, it's the Olympics starting right now. Oh, the Winter Olympics. There's satanic symbolism in it. Is it though? Well, I mean, everybody's talking about it though. I mean, since the Epstein files, it's like every... Dude, people were like, ooh, pedophile elites. Before the Epstein file release, now it's just... Everybody's just continually thinking about that. And I mean, it's not strange because it just got released and people are still working through it, and it is insane. And apparently it's like only half. It was 3 million was actually half of it, and the other half is like the worst, and they keep it out. They're not gonna reveal that part, I guess, because it's too terrible, or I don't know. The players involved in that cannot yet be revealed or something. Okay. Politics. God, yeah. This is totally nuts. Somebody calculated how much the migration policy has been costing, and apparently it's been costing an average of 800,000 euros per migrant. It's just like absurd. Like almost €1 million just for some completely unskilled person that can't even speak the language, mostly not adapted to Western society. And I mean, yeah, crazy. So yeah, that came by as an article yesterday. Thought that was worth mention. Insane amounts of money they throw away here on that. Like, I could really use some of that. Yeah, but I don't get even close to anything like that. We're close to nuclear war. Oh yeah, the whole Iran thing. Apparently Iran is like, shit's probably gonna go down very soon. Everybody's very tense about it. So they're saying like potentially nuclear war could break out because of it. I'm not hearing any signs that there is like a cohesive plan of like a quick strike, like let's just say like how it went down in Venezuela, all very quick, in one go basically, in a small time window, and that made it really successful. Yeah, nobody's seeing that actually happening here with Iran, because Iran is a huge country with a huge amount of population and a big military and a lot of weapons. especially missiles. And it's not just gonna just be defeated overnight at all. And getting drawn into a prolonged war by the US is gonna very logically make everybody else make moves, because yeah, everything that's gonna be put on Iran can't be used to hold back whatever else might be going down out there all of a sudden. So it's very likely that all the big players will make their moves, and yeah, I mean, logically it would be like that. If US does this with Iran, if it can even succeed, because there's really no guarantee of that, then it's very likely that China is probably gonna take Taiwan, and Russia is probably gonna complete taking Ukraine, like to end that Zelensky regime and everything. And who knows how far they'll take it. Change the Eastern European landscape. And I mean, no, they're not just gonna like start blowing up shit, because a lot of these Eastern European countries that like they don't really like what's happening with NATO. So they're probably gonna switch sides. I mean, something dramatic could happen. It could also be the breaking up of Europe that might occur right as the Iran situation will go down. So yeah, on the precipice of a potential set of big changes. So intense. But if anything's gonna happen, I predict there will be no nukes used, because, I mean, in theory, why the hell would you? And I don't think they're real. But I mean, the threat and the fears are being hyped up though. But yeah, just like with the moon landing, it's like, oh, we're gonna go back to the moon. Oh, no, we didn't. Yeah, oh, threat of nuclear war. Oh, no, it didn't happen. Yeah, and that's gonna be every time, because it's never gonna happen, because it doesn't exist. Alright, let me put that in the title too. So yeah, stuff is gonna happen. It's gonna change things around, and we'll see what happens after that. Oh, this is good news for the US. Operation Safe Drive, taking off unqualified truckers. Right, remember those crazy ass DEI type situations that are just getting a lot of people killed in insane ways because they just like cross over the roads and shit. I mean, probably some of you or most of you have already seen these videos. It's quite horrific, but it looks like yeah, a lot of them have already been taken off the road. So wow, this is just some statistics, but 75% of them were unable to even identify the meaning of road signs. But you're gonna drive one of those huge trucks though. It's totally insane. It's crazy that that ever even was able to happen, but it's getting stopped, so that's good news for the US. Hey, I think I'm ready. Yeah. Ah, great. The cloning is finished. That's great. So yeah, after I'm done with the show, I'm gonna check out whether that installation or whether the clone will function, if I can literally just start it up. And then if that works out, then I can start proceeding with the Linux installation. Wait, let me just check the disk how it looks. Oh, it's already disconnected. Wow, okay, so yeah, glad I managed to do that at least. It was a real hassle even finding a program that wasn't some kind of bait is super annoying. It's like, oh, here's free program, and then you use it, and then it's like the last moment, like proceed with the procedure, and then oh, you need the special code. Oh, so you need to pay after if you actually want to use. I hate this. I mean, and that's like when you just go search, that's all the shit you'll ever find now. It's terrible. You really have to like find special clean sources for these programs, or you're just gonna get this kind of crap. It's horrifying. Like it's terrible that those programs even exist, really. Supposedly free but not free, but you first install all the crap, and then when you actually want to use it, that's when it reveals that you need to pay. It's horrifying that they do this. It's so evil. Right, but yeah, I managed to get it. Yeah, looks like it completely worked. It's great. Ah. Ooh, some of the clouds have cleared up again. It's really beautiful day out. It really is. Just look at that. There's no trails or anything. Just clear blue sky and yeah, a bit of cheap clouds going about. But I mean, the sun is really bright down there. Just look at that. Nice. Right, I hope everybody's having a great weekend and a great day. Hope you got some beautiful weather out there too. Guess that's it for the news. Let me check this one. The Olympics. It's kind of weird when people say, "Oh, it's satanic, it's satanic." By default. I mean, looks more like just a mandala. It sort of resembles a bit like a pentagram, but I mean, is that... It just looks like a cymatic pattern, really. I don't see it. Or like a football. But yeah, as I said before, since the Epstein file release, now everybody's gonna just see satanic symbolism in anything they do now. Because before there was just like that conspiracy thinking with people, and nothing is like official. Now it's an official release, and so a lot, like, more people start to do that, a lot more. And they're all now obsessed with this kind of crap. There's gonna be people that are gonna be like, oh, so you appeared in the news. That means you're a connected pedophile. Like, that's gonna happen. People are gonna do that. It is not strange that they do that. It's a logical response to something as bizarre and outrageous as what is described in the Epstein files. Bill Clinton is also going around kind of being defensive, but smart. He's not fumbling or anything. Because, I mean, yeah, the Clintons are understandably getting tons of flack. Because they're also, like, connected with Epstein and everything. And they already had, like, well, a big history. Of course, like, there's the saying, Clinton body count and everything. So, they're getting swamped. But I mean, they seem pretty confident though. They don't seem like completely flustered about it or anything. Like, they know what to do. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see if they're gonna get out of this unscathed. Again, that would be a big disappointment to a lot of people, of course, that were like after them for a long time. But I think they might get through it unscathed. But yeah, you don't really know. If they are, they're at least gonna lose a lot of power. Because they were like using the network a lot. They were using these connections. I mean, the Epstein thing, it just reveals all these connections. That's really what it did the most. It reveals the conspiracy of the connections of all these people. And of course, a lot of people think, oh, it's because of pedophile blackmail or something. But I mean, that might have not even necessarily been a dominant part of what Epstein was doing. It's also like something that Owen Benjamin says that I really respected, and that is that it might have been mostly voluntary, and that they just have this stuff on film as like a backup for when somebody like really goes 180 degrees about and just like needs to be used as a fall guy or whatever. Like, they probably had like incriminating material, Epstein did, I mean, of course, but I don't think that that is like how it would have operated. Like, ooh, we got this on you now you have to do as we say, because that would cramp everything. I think it really is all mostly voluntary based. And I mean, from what I learned about it a long time ago and through the Jesuit guy, it did really seem like that. It's like they all just like, yeah, we want to be a part of this. So everybody's mostly participating voluntarily, except of course like the child slaves and all that. But I mean, even some of them might just be mind controlled into just thinking it's that they're free to do that. Until they get axed, basically, get in the bad zone for some reason, and then eventually disposed of. I mean, there's like, ugh, dude, I've seen that like a freaking incinerator and everything. It's so creepy, man. I'm just kind of like getting these stories from the sidelines because I'm not even gonna read through any of this. It all just creeps me out so badly. But yeah, people are talking about it, and I'm kind of like sifting through that a little bit. What people are finding in there, I don't want to know it firsthand. I just don't. Right. Looks like the trolls have done depositing their downvotes. Good. Then maybe now you could just fuck off already. Right? You don't do anything else anyway. Right. Right, yeah, I might join up with worldwide debates for a bit. Not sure yet if I'm gonna do that. That does look like a good move. Right, again, I hope everybody's having a great weekend, or eventful or interesting. If you're enjoying the weather. That was nice. Really enjoyed that coffee. It's kind of odd that like the coffee's just stayed, because I am drinking a lot of coffee, but it's just not bothering me that much, and I'm kind of surprised about it, because I had a couple of signs that it was like, oh, I'm getting issues again, but that seemed to be just like one time. And so yeah, something metabolic has shifted with me, and I do appreciate it. I am liking the coffee. If you're liking the show, don't forget to Rogan's it up. Anybody that wants to show up in the chat, that would be nice. Right, and I mean, yeah, I can talk about Flat Earth too. Why not? Or otherwise, I'm just gonna switch to worldwide debates. And first, I'm gonna get a smoke. Still want to enjoy some of that sun out there before it goes away completely. substantial. Right, I'm gonna right around the corner. Okay, let's join up with Worldwide Debates. Let's see what they're up to.
Like social infrastructure and scientific sort of endeavors, it doesn't matter. Like, that doesn't matter.
No,
to
I'm
you.
asking why it matters.
It's just like absolutely bamboozling to me.
Hello, guys. I'm live
Like,
with the early bird show.
social parameter derives the absolute institution. Like, I don't care about your scientific method. Your scientific method doesn't care for like sociological instantiation. The sociology actually dictates. Right, no, but it does dictate the method of the science. Like,
sure, and if it dictates it in a way, science becomes felonious. It's going to result in lies, right? It's going to yield lie after lie. That's what I'm asking for. Show me the evidence of the lies. You're still coming up zero on that.
It's called Nashar, and you basically imported them into your culture and put them at the top echelon.
That should be even more
industry.
reason why they're providing lies and lies and lies. Now, we've established that they call themselves liars. Show me evidence of their lies.
Moon landing 101, definitely.
Yeah, that's begging the question.
This needs a little explaining, but picture yourself treading water. You know, you're in a lake. You stop moving your arms. You tip. You float off. You don't stay upright anymore. But yet, we can watch hundreds of hours of NASA footage, and not one time has anybody in a weightless environment gone like, oh, and they had to grab the wall to reposition themselves, or they're doing a flip and they just kind of float off into nothing. Not one time. Every time it looks like they're in a harness. Every single time.
Are you serious right now?
Yeah.
It's not evidence of them lying. I don't know what is.
Why would they flip around?
You must be trolling. You're trolling, right?
No, you guys are just
Like,
believing.
all we have are
Like,
videos
this
of
is
people
Disney
doing flips and
cartoons.
having to stop themselves, putting their foot on the
Disney
wall. Do you see all those
cartoons.
roll bars inside the ISS? That's what those are for. We have
No, I
plenty
mean,
of
what
these.
about the women's hair?
They look
I
like
see
they're
no problem with
electrocuted.
women's hair. I mean, I've spoken hours on this.
You see
Anything
no problem
specifically?
anywhere. You see no problems with women's hair. You see no problems anywhere, dude. Like, that's your problem.
Thank you, Dr.
Like,
Seuss.
Hey, Dr. Seuss.
What's going
You
on
don't see
here?
any problems anywhere. It's a problem for you guys.
Have you looked at how they actually isolate viruses, or say they do?
Whoa, hard turn.
Manufactorum.
No.
Well, maybe if you look there, you'll see something wrong.
Oh, it's all
I
about the
doubt
scientific
it.
method, you see, and he just trusts the scientists. He trusts the science.
I mean,
Well, if
Yeah.
it's all about the scientific method, he'll love virology because they don't even have controls.
they do have controls. Regardless, I'm not going to spend 7 years of medical school to try and understand what it is I'm looking at. So even if I did my quote-unquote did my
You
own
don't
research on
have
this,
to. It takes an
I don't-
hour.
that's ridiculous.
It takes an hour to determine that they're bullshitting you.
Okay, I immediately
You know
no
what you're
longer
talking
take you
about?
seriously.
If you know what you're talking about and like you know what you're thinking about, it would theoretically take an hour. It took me 3 months, okay, to really sort of look at what they were talking about and see whether or not it was like relevant or not. But I mean, if you think you know what you're talking about, then yeah, I mean, technically it
So-
should take an hour or two.
Okay, my old college roommate, smartest guy I know, got into Mensa. He studied biochemical engineering in college when we were rooming together. He later worked for the military, and then he went on to work in, I don't remember what it's called, but he basically works in like some biology lab thing. I try to keep up with what the fuck he's talking about. It's hard. The kinds of conversations I have with him are things, and they last more than an hour, by the way. By the end of the conversation, I can glean kind of what he's talking about. I have some sense of the processes involved. I guarantee you, if you're doing research on the internet and after an hour you think you know what you're talking about or what you're reading one of these research papers, I don't trust you. I don't think you know what you're talking about.
Do you reject anything of what he says ever? Or do you just agree with it because you're enamored by his position?
I'm not enamored by it, but he knows more than me on the subject.
Like,
there's
respect
something to
his
be said
position,
about
and
expertise.
He can literally
right?
just tell you anything, dude, and you'll just go.
Not anything, no. The questions I
No, you
ask
just
are me
look it
trying to
up,
make
dude.
sense of it. Right? That's the whole point of having a conversation. But there's some things you're going to be able to challenge and other things you don't, right? Again, unless you spend like 7 years in medical school, there's only so much you can kind of grasp on a subject if you're a
So he can
layperson, if
basically-
you're not an expert.
He can just
Some of us
bamboozle
have done
you.
that, dude.
Yeah, like I mean,
You claim to have done that.
Sophia's worked in the industry for long enough. Like, I would trust her sort of groundwork on it. I wouldn't
Sorry,
trust.
what do you do,
like,
Sophia?
I wouldn't sort of trust. Go ahead, Sophia.
Well, I'm a cardiac physiologist.
Okay, so fine, fair enough. That if she says in an hour she can make sense of something, fine. That's very different from a layperson with no medical background spending an hour and figuring shit out. Like, you understand that
Sure.
distinction, right?
You got bamboozled by a guy that you sort of enamored by. That's all that's going on, dude.
Like, dude, you don't
Sure.
even know
The
him. You don't know
Jungle
what
Book.
we talked about. You don't know. Oh, Jesus. What?
Do you remember the story, The Jungle Book?
Vaguely, yeah.
Do you remember that part where the snake comes and then he speaks to Mowgli? You remember what his eyes does? There's this little woo thing. Sounds like that's what he's doing with you.
I'm having trouble hearing you. Who did what to Mowgli?
The
When
snake
Kaa,
bamboozled Mowgli.
the snake, yeah, when
ahead.
Kaa comes and he talks to Mowgli, he does this weird jiggly eye thing to Mowgli. Do you remember that?
The hypnotic eyes.
I kind of remember something like that. Yeah,
It sounds like what you're describing.
that's what it sounds like to you, I'm sure. Not having
Yeah,
been in
he's
the conversation or
mesmerizing
knowing
you.
nothing
He's
about the.
deceiving you.
So you say you don't even know what he said to me. I mean, he could have said things to me that don't at all contradict your position, and because you think that any mainstream medical whatever can't be trusted, you immediately think that everything he told me was lie.
You wouldn't
You
mention
understand
him
that there's some
otherwise.
amount of
dude.
bias, right?
That's
You wouldn't
dividing.
You know
No,
why?
I was mentioning him for the complication of this matter, right? The notion that there's something to be said about expertise that you guys want to poo-poo and throw out the window for I don't even know why. I mean, I do know
So,
why.
but how is his expertise contributing, though? Like, what do you get out of it?
What?
Does he explain about the
I'm
wires?
trying.
Does he explain about the green screen? Does he explain about
No,
the
it was
weird
talking
hair?
about viruses.
Oh,
nothing to do
we're
with
talking
NASA.
about medical stuff now, no longer about the ISS?
Yeah, I was kind of more interested in that, but
No,
mean,
the
about
actual topic
expertise in
was
general.
that he doesn't see lies anywhere around him. They asked about NASA, he says those aren't lies. They asked about, and then I asked about medical stuff to see what he thinks about those. He doesn't think they're lying about anything.
Oh, that's...
I didn't say that. Careful now.
What?
I didn't
Okay,
say they're
something
not lying
like
about
that.
anything.
But you don't see any sort of like we do.
No, because you guys go
You
off
don't
the
see
rails with
reason
it. You guys
to-
think that every single aspect of it is a lie, and I think that's just infantile.
Why?
Like,
Why do
there's
you think
obviously
that?
people lie about things, but because not everything, even liars will occasionally tell the truth. Statistically, you can't have someone
Cool.
say 100% lies all the time. That makes no sense.
If
Just
you
from
can
like a
present-
rational
So,
standpoint.
No, but if you find a lie in
What?
one place and then you find another lie in another place and another lie in another place, then you start recognizing that actually it's a preponderance of lies that essentially a society is built upon.
That's definitely a pattern. I don't know what you blame that
Because-
pattern on.
Yeah,
You're
like,
still a
that's the whole
path,
nature of it.
correct, after all the lies you heard
Arguments
about
could be.
No, but like to say that, like, I mean, like, oh, there's just one little lie in a little tiny pocket somewhere, it's more a case of like once you recognize the pattern of the lie, then you can start finding it in other aspects of society. It's just like how you're willing, like open your mind up.
How
Then
do you
it becomes
distinguish?
ponderance.
How do you distinguish between objectively identifying lies and confirmation bias? How do you make that distinction?
I mean, you got to.
Is that even important? I mean, it's just a designation to call it a lie. You could also just call it wrong, right? So if an expert of any kind has a significant amount of interpretations or ideas that are provably wrong, that you personally can prove wrong, not by just referencing some authority figure, but you yourself can prove wrong, then how much can you actually rely on them as an expert when they provably at least have blind spots, right? It's a very
Because
modest
those are two
position.
vastly different things.
This
Right,
is
you understand? If you're
part
dealing
of-
with someone who's intentionally trying to deceive you, that's very different from someone who's
Man,
incidentally
this
getting
argument-
something wrong.
Yeah, but it's not something when they
man, this-
hold on to like provably wrong
This
things.
argument-
Does it even
because
matter
you
whether they're trying to misinform
Can
you
you guys hear me?
or dude, hello?
I was in the middle of speaking. and
Oh, you
started
were?
Speaking.
I
This
thought that I
argument
was in the
is
middle of
because-
speaking during my live show.
Wait a minute. If you had the 10 world's best brain surgeons and you had to go to brain surgery, who would you choose? Them or a guy who's out of school for the first year in brain surgery? Who would you choose and why?
What?
I would choose
Why
the
would
one
you
who's been
need
doing it
brain
for the longest
surgery?
amount of time.
No, I'm saying if you needed brain surgery, who would you choose? The 10 world's leading best brain surgeons or a guy who's been out of school for 1 year and he's a brain surgeon? Which group of people would you trust more?
The people with
Even
the
though
most
the
practical
world's best
experience, of
brain
course.
surgeons
Right?
have
I mean, success
had
rate.
examples of times where they made mistakes. Who would
Easy
you
answer.
choose?
If you need a brain surgeon, then you're already like you got yourself in a shit situation.
Yeah, and why do you
And
just keep
well,
moving
that's
on?
what
It's just
you are.
every time
Of your own
I try to address something and you just move on to another example or what. And if I respond to
No,
that, are you going to
that's
move
not
on to
the point.
another example? Is this
The
going to
point
keep
is-
scattergunning to the side until
See-
we don't
see,
even
man,
know how
they're
this conversation
purposely
started anymore?
Not going to answer that question because they know they would go to the world's leading brain surgeons instead of some guy that's been
That's
out of
like
college
Colin.
for a year.
Yeah,
We can
that's
discuss
great.
that.
Yeah, but we weren't talking about brain surgeons though.
No, but the
Yeah,
point-
so
the
why?
point of the whole thing is even the world's best top 10 brain surgeons have made mistakes. So who are you going to trust? Them who have made mistakes throughout their career, or some guy that's been out of college for 1 year?
Dude, if you need
But
to
they
go
don't
to
know
a
how the
brain
body
surgeon,
works. So
We're
I'm
ta-
not sure
talking
what you're
about-
talking about. If you need brain surgery, those guys know nothing about health. So if you need brain surgery, you're already way too far in.
No, that is not the
They know
the
nothing?
subject.
Yeah, it's
We're
a terrible
talking about-
example
Yeah, they
because you're
don't
talking
know
about
how-
physical actions that
Right.
you require. Yeah, that's not what we're talking about. We were
We're not
talking about
talking about
I
someone
did,
who
dude. Hello, can you fucking hear me? I'm responding. Yeah, you just keep
But we're
talking
not
over
talking
everybody.
necessarily about
You just
brain
keep,
surgery. We're
dude.
talking about
I'm gonna
trusting-
mute you now. You suck. I'm in a live show. You just keep blabbering over me, right? So yeah, if you need
Okay,
a
one
physical
time, guys.
expert at something,
Dude, guy. Okay, 1 sec. Arwen, look, you seem pretty keen. You can go. Got 30 seconds. Lael, you can go next. Cool.
cool.
Best way I can do it.
Yeah, thanks. So, yeah, if you're gonna need a physical expert for a physical task, yeah, you want the biggest expert, right? But that's not what we were talking about at all. It's a total straw man diversion into a practical task. You need somebody with practical experience. We weren't talking about practical tasks. We're talking about explanations and things, how they work, and worldviews and all that. Like, hey, this medical idea. Well, that medical idea, like about viruses existing or not, well, that's not really about a practical action you do. It's about the understanding of what the hell's going on. Yeah? That's not a practical experience-based thing, right? And so is like ISS stuff. Like, how does that work? Oh, somebody's a real expert at it. Oh, really? So, expert at telling everybody about how it's supposed to work? That doesn't sound very practical to me. That's not like an engineer that you're hiring to accomplish something physical. It's somebody you're getting to explain something to you, yeah? So this is just a giant diversion into something that doesn't apply. This is getting really tedious. So
I
yeah.
gave you a limit. Okay, Lael, please.
No, it's not.
Go ahead.
Because Man was talking specifically about listening to the world-leading person in that expert in that area. So I brought up brain surgery because if you needed brain surgery and you had a choice between the 10 world's best brain surgeons or a guy who's been out of college for 1 year that's a brain surgeon, you would default to the guys who have the most experience, even though they've made mistakes. Now, you're right, this isn't about brain surgery, but it's about trusting the experts instead of some guy that has 1 year of experience. Same with manufacturing a Porsche. Who would you trust? Someone who's been doing it for 50 years or someone who's been doing it for 1 year?
Yeah, again, you're doing it again. You're doing
like
exactly the same thing. You're giving an example of somebody that builds something, that does specific craft-based tasks. Yeah, of course you want, in that specific category, you want the one with the most experience and the best record, yeah? But it's a false equivalent. It's a false comparison. Yeah, we're not talking about practical tasks. We were talking about experts about ideas of how things work. Yeah, it's completely
All right,
different.
so
It's
what about-
different. You can't compare it. You keep comparing it, falsely so.
Okay, so what about the 10 world's best string theorists? And a guy who's been out of college for 1 year doing string theory? Who would you choose to trust and try to understand string theory?
Oh, that all depends on what they're going to be saying, right? I mean, I'm sure that the expert string theorists are going to be able to reference all the developments that they've read through. They're going to be very good at reflecting the history of it. Does that mean they actually know what is real and what isn't? Well, that all depends on what they're going to lay out, right? I'm going to listen to the information, cross-reference it with everybody, because when it is just theoretical based, which it really is, it's a good example of a theoretical thing, a theoretical expertise. Well, guess what? A lot of them, they hold on to certain types of theories because that's how they get money. And if they would divert from the narrative, well, then they don't get that money anymore. They fall out. Yeah? So in this specific instance, I wouldn't necessarily listen to the expert that is like doing it for 10 years, because they probably have a good reason to uphold it even when it's provably wrong, right? I'll go just by the information then. That's what you do with theories. You go by their information, not by their field experience or how long they've been doing it. Yeah, people can repeat propaganda their entire lives and it's going to be wrong all the time. It's just going to be more understood to be wrong eventually.
But would you weigh them the same?
Yeah.
Really? Like
yes.
Even taking
yes, really.
Say that
yes. Yes, really.
Somebody who's been in the field for many, many years, they might have some sort of investment in their position being correct. Like
no.
You can add that
no,
to
they
the
don't.
equation, right?
No, if they're that long in the field, they don't have an interest in their position being correct. They have an interest in their position being acceptable. Yeah?
Sure, that's what I meant.
Yeah, but it's a huge difference, though.
Sure, I'm agreeing with you. I'm saying even if that were the case, right, couldn't you separately weigh the fact that one person has more time in the field than another person?
Yeah, sure. If I wanted to know about the history of that theory,
no,
but I don't. I want to know whether it's real or not, and whether the person that I'm talking to understands if it's real or not. Yeah, and the expert's not necessarily going to be very enthusiastic to tell everybody that his entire expertise is a complete waste of time.
I agree with you.
Yeah,
not necessarily, right?
Right.
But
just like I'm not going to ask a virologist whether viruses are fake or not.
Field, they would be more apt to actually publish that, right? Like that's what people become famous for.
Yeah, well, they only become famous if it's wanted by the system. If their expertise, if their ideas, if their opinions are acceptable, yeah, by the horde, which is not like an arbiter for whether something is real or not, because they actively ignore and ban ideas that fall outside of what you're supposed to be talking about. That's been happening for over a century.
Maybe.
Yeah, not maybe.
But
it's absolutely certain.
That had a
on
controversial
record.
Position, stuck to their guns, and were eventually vindicated, right?
Yeah, or not.
Or not, yeah.
Yeah, mostly not. Like, think that you get budgets for, sponsored for through university. Yeah, most of them are not. There are old ideas that are in need of being held on to and being talked about when they are blatantly not going to be successful.
I don't know.
Yeah, I do.
In some fields, perhaps, but
yeah,
I don't know if that's the
plenty of fields.
Scientific
Definitely.
Yeah, so that's how it works, and that's why an expert in a practical craft you can definitely trust based on their long-term experience, because they actually do things and they either work or they don't based on their record. While with theorists, it's kind of the opposite. If you're a theorist about something very specific, well, that doesn't necessarily mean you could really trust them to tell you what is real or not, because they're invested in their knowledge and they have to hold on to it even if it's wrong, because otherwise they lose their job. Yeah, that's the main difference. It's totally different.
I don't know if that's always the case. I mean, a lot of these theorists have tenure. I don't know if it's that huge a risk for them. I think you're a little overplaying it.
Well, sponsored theorists, they don't really have a luxury that just abandon their ideas and embrace new ones, because then they'd have to argue to get new budget for it, and a lot of the time they won't. That's why theorists end up in their careers often holding on to the same theory their entire lives, even when it was being disproven.
I mean,
Because they got the sponsorship for it.
I just don't think. I think you're seeing a little overrepresented.
Oh, okay. Well, that can be your impression, sure. I think it pretty much works like that.
I
So,
just think it's more of
glad
a
that
systemic
got cleared
thing than
up
like
at
an
least.
individualistic thing.
Alright, so can we now get back to what the discussion was started about, or has everybody already wandered off?
The ISS?
I guess so. What about it? I mean, I just entered the room when it was in the middle of that, so... And by the way, we are live with Flat Earth Early Bird 2540, just for the record. I don't know if you caught that yet.
Yeah, we were having a conversation about maybe trusting liars. I know it sounds weird, but that's the reality of what we have to cope with.
I was asking for an example of NASA being proven liars.
You have heard examples before, man.
The moon landing.
To be fair, they didn't have any new ones. They had the hairspray.
I'm more interested in when they
appeal
not telling the truth.
that they're on strings.
Yeah, I've heard those.
Why
So
can't
it's
I
just
see
like
your
things
name light
weird.
up, Don? That's really weird. Everybody else lights up when they talk, but you don't for some reason.
I just had a connection issue and came back in. It's like it's lit up for me.
But I can hear you though. It's just your name doesn't light up when you talk. It's kind of weird.
Let me see if
That's
I
how
can sort it
imbued in darkness he is.
That is pretty creepy.
out. That might
It's
refresh.
back. Yeah. It's working normal now. You also seem a bit louder.
So would you agree that?
No.
Would you? No. Do you think Nathan Oakley ever lies?
Not about technical things, no.
Well, I'll give you my example that I think he lied about. He says, Earth is measured flat. Full stop.
Yeah, that's not a
But
lie.
what about all the people that measure it as a globe?
They don't.
What do you mean they
I do.
don't?
Well,
Why
it's
would
exactly
we
what
be
I said.
further?
They don't. They don't know what they're
So-
talking about.
So they go out there and they use angles, measurements, distances, information, do calculations, and then they say, I think it's a globe.
Yeah, I'm sure
And
they
that's
do.
not measuring it. That's not called measuring.
That's right. That's literally measuring a flat plane using angles and baselines and all that stuff, and then presupposing it's angled in a certain way because of presupposition of what the celestial lights are and where they are, and that it can only work on a globe. Yeah, presupposing the globe. That's what globers do, and you need a flat plane to do it. That's the
That is
entire point of the
incredible. That's
statement,
different,
Earth is
though.
measured flat.
But
Right.
that's not the same. The fact, so to say that you need a flat plane to do it, it's not the same as saying it's measured flat. You recognize that distinction, right?
No, no, I don't.
Both is wrong.
What does it mean to measure something?
It's well, what it says, measuring, not calculating, but actually taking information, sensory-based information, and then you process it, right? And then you get distances, you get the parameters of it, measuring. physically doing something,
Okay.
attaining information
That
physically.
kind of sounds like a calculation.
No, it's physically attaining
Can I-
information. Calculus is not physical. It's a processing.
Okay.
The processing of information. It doesn't have to even be physical.
Can I measure the square footage of my house?
Nope.
Okay. So
But you can
sounds
calculate
like
it.
what you mean by measure is that it can only be directly referential. Like you need a meter stick or some tool or apparatus that's specifically built to quantify some aspect of a thing.
Yeah.
Right? That's the only way you can measure. Okay.
Yeah, and
What's the
then you
tool that's
calculate
used
it
to measure
based on the
flatness?
measurements.
Okay. What's the tool that measures flatness?
The tool that no, that's a malformed question. You don't measure flatness. You measure the observations, right? You measure the Earth, and then you figure out it's flat.
But Nathan
Okay,
says
what you're
Earth is
describing
measured
is not.
flat.
Yeah, and what you're describing sounds like you're eyeballing it, not measuring.
Yeah, well, eyeballing is also a form of measurement.
Not by the definition you and I just set up.
No, it
You
is.
need some
No, it is.
referential apparatus.
No, that's completely unrelated to the example you just gave me.
Well, oh, calculations are bad, but eyeballing is good.
No, it's not
Exactly.
that it's bad, it's just not measuring. Got any more sentences you want to
eyeball.
shove in my mouth that I definitely am not saying? You guys are really good at that, I know.
I'm afraid measuring does include calculation and eyeball.
No, it doesn't. Measuring
Oh.
doesn't include calculation. The calculation happens afterward, right? If you want to calculate the surface of something, you got to measure the length and the width, and then when you measured that, then you can use those measurements to calculate the square surface. Yeah?
Okay. How do you feel
Different
about this
things.
sentence? How do you feel about this sentence? Earth is calculated as a globe.
Oh, I'm sure you can.
Oh, so
With the
Would you say
right
the same thing about
presuppositions,
flat?
yeah, you can calculate anything. You can calculate what kind of a pyramid it is too, if you want it.
Would you
With
say
the
you
right
can calculate it
presuppositional
flat?
framework.
Would you agree to the corollary of that it's calculated flat?
Well, yeah, you can also calculate it flat, if you like. You can calculate anything. The
Well, I'm saying, in
measurement,
the
that's a
statement, the
flat
Earth is
measurement,
measured
though.
flat.
Yeah,
That's
so
what I'm
again,
asking
not
about.
lies. Yeah? Don?
No,
Not
no,
a
hold on,
lie.
we
It's
haven't
not a
established
lie.
that yet.
You're just wrong.
haven't-
You don't even understand the difference between measurement and calculation, which is becoming evident now. So not lies. You're just
That's what I'm
wrong.
trying to get
And
out
you
of you.
assume that he's lying about
what I'm trying
it
to
because
get
you
from you.
misunderstand the difference between calculation and measurement, which has been proven by this
no, no.
conversation.
No, I'm asking you, how has the Earth been measured flat? That's what I'm asking.
Well,
Take your time.
you measured the angles to the stars and of the distance, and you measure the horizon, all these things, and then you can put that together.
Calculations.
Yeah, you put it together with calculations. Not even, you compare it. You just compare data.
Okay, so that's not measuring the Earth flat, is it?
Well, the measurement is definitely being happening on the flat Earth. Yes.
Not like begging
Well,
the
that's
question.
the claim. Yeah, you're not measuring the Earth though. You're measuring the angular distance to stars. That's not measuring the Earth. It's
Well,
certainly
not just
measuring
stars,
flatness,
also the
it's measuring
horizon.
angle.
You forgot the horizon, though.
Okay,
Yeah.
fine. How is that a measurement of the flatness of Earth?
Well, because if it wasn't flat, you wouldn't be able to get like these very long distance horizon views in the first instance. You wouldn't get them at
Okay,
all.
Great. So what we've established then is that the Earth must be flat to be measured, to measure angular distances, but that's not measuring the Earth flat. You understand the difference?
Not necessarily, no.
That
Sounds like a semantical argument in this
really
case. But I mean,
it is the
measuring
semantics
flat,
of the
it is.
statement,
It
the
seems
Earth
to
is
be a
measured flat,
semantical
yeah.
objection that you have, right? I mean, measuring
Yes,
flat,
it
there's
is.
a whole process that is part of that. I don't even remember the details. You'd have to ask Nathan. Although I'm sure you're just gonna
I
keep
have.
over-talking him until he basically just starts yelling again, because that's what you guys do whenever somebody
over-talking
actually
him.
gives you the explanation. So, but yeah, I mean, ask Nathan. He knows how to tell you. I mean, he doesn't just say it and then is unable to explain it. Like, I don't really
It's exactly
deal
what
with that
happens.
kind of thing anymore as much, because it's just about bickering with ballers over semantics like this.
Yeah, I've tried talking to him. He just mutes me and doesn't listen to me.
No, I actually made progress with him. I had this very conversation with him, and he conceded that yes, it's not measuring the Earth flat, but the Earth is required to be flat to measure it.
Yeah,
That was his concession. And the next day, he
Right.
was saying the Earth is measured flat.
yeah, because
Which is
that's
why
what
he's
it
alive.
represents.
Oh,
But if
no.
it's
what
not
that
measuring-
represents.
That's not measuring the Earth flat, though. That's not the same thing.
Okay, so, but I mean, why not say it like that? I don't get it.
And do you realize
Because when you
that?
tell
It's
an
exactly
normie
what I
the
said,
Earth is
right?
measured
So
flat,
yeah, I got
there's
it
only
right then.
one
I got it
thing
right.
he's trying to communicate
I
with
got
that
the
sentence.
representation of
One
what
thing he's
that
trying to communicate
saying
with that
means,
sentence.
measuring the Earth flat. It is a
All right, you tell me when you're
representation.
done.
It's not a literal statement. It's a representation, a process that I described correctly, and Nathan does too. But yeah, to just say it's measured flat, yeah, that's great. And it's a
Nobody's
great
bickering on the
alternative
notion
to
of
Glober
flatness.
saying
Oh,
it's
Jesus.
measured like a globe, which is complete nonsense, because it's obviously calculated like a globe. When you elaborate on it,
Semantic.
no, it isn't
Semantic.
semantic. No, it is exact. The
Oh, and do you understand
calculation
the saying-
is completely conceptual. Yeah, the measurements that you do, yeah, it all requires a flat Earth to even be able to do
Yeah, I
that. It's an
disagree on that,
antecedent. Yeah, to calculate the
disagree
Earth, to
on that.
figure
No.
out the Earth, you have to.
The
use
antecedent is
a
not
si-
a measurement. The antecedent is a logical deduction. We've deduced the Earth to be flat by how we measure things off of it. That is not the same as saying the Earth is measured flat. And the only way to say it that way, since you asked, is because when you say that to a normie, there's only one message you're communicating with that, and that is the flatness of the Earth has been measured to be flat. That's what he's trying to tell people, and that is false.
I don't see it. I think
know.
it's perfectly fine to say it like that, as long as you elaborate why, right? And he did, and he does, and
Which
I
he
did.
does not.
Yeah, so your objection is semantical, and that's it.
No, it's not. I mean, it's the semantics of the thing, but my objection is he's lying.
No, you're having a semantic objection. He's not lying, because he explains exactly what it represents when you inquire.
No.
Yeah, he does. Explain exactly what it represents when you inquire. He's not lying about it.
No,
You just don't
said
like the
something
way
different.
it sounds. Yeah, it's called a
not the way it sounds,
semantical
it's what it
objection.
means. It's the meaning of the words, which, yeah, you can call that semantics, but
Yeah,
semantics
it
are fucking
is.
important. You can't just say whatever and say, oh, well, I meant something totally different.
Yeah, but it
That's a
isn't
lie.
totally different. It's just
It
a
is.
shorter way
The
to
Earth
say
isn't
that.
measured
Because we don't just want to roll out multiple sentences because of your semantical objection. No, saying Earth is measured flat works way better. Yeah,
But
and then
it's
when
wrong.
somebody inquires, you elaborate exactly what it stands for.
And if your elaboration ends up being something different than what you said originally, then that's wrong.
Yeah, well, not my problem. You could go fuck yourself,
I
basically.
mean, if you say that you have an issue with people saying that it's measured as a globe because it's not measuring, is that not also a semantic distinction?
No, because of the
No,
processes.
that one's not. Of course.
You require a flat plane to be able to measure whatever's on it, otherwise you wouldn't be able to measure it. And
Why?
a good way
Why?
to say that is the Earth is measured flat.
What does that mean?
I agree that
That
that's
is
a
not
good way to say it,
that.
right?
Those are two different concepts.
And it's bullshit. What does it mean? You're
Apart
just
from it just
saying,
being
I
flat
think
out
it's
wrong,
flat,
yeah, but-
and now I'm going to discuss it being flat. It doesn't prove itself by saying we're starting with it being flat. What you're saying, you can never measure things if you're on a curve. What logic is that?
Yeah, it's called physical
It
obstructions,
has
the
to be flat
geometric
to measure.
consequences.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That means you're not even going to investigate if you're saying it has to be flat to measure.
Yeah, or you wouldn't be
What
able
does that
to.
mean? That is the ridiculous bullshit argument.
Oh, an antecedent?
That's
No,
nonsense.
it's called geometric consequences.
So how would you find out if it's a globe? If it has to be flat to measure it? Doesn't make
Well,
sense. You
Yeah,
need to be able
yeah,
to
that's
check
right.
both
There's
on
no
both.
point to do it because if it was a
so
globe,
you're
we
saying
wouldn't be able to measure it
can't
like
check.
that, the
My
way it's
favourite
being
belief
measured.
that I've been speaking to you guys
The Earth
about
was a
for
globe,
years,
you
we
wouldn't be
can't
able to
check.
measure it the way that we do. That's right.
We can't check. But I'm still saying it's true.
Earth is flat.
That's ridiculous, Owen. You shouldn't
No, it
talk
isn't
to Nathan.
ridiculous.
Nonsense. You should be your own man because you're more honest and smarter when you ignore him.
No, I'm not. I know exactly what Earth is measured flat stands for. It's not in the most literal statement ever, but when you ask about it, well, it's explained. It's explained exactly
has
what
to
that
be
means.
flat.
We just don't want to, whenever we address it, roll out two entire sentences every fucking time it's brought up. Yeah? We just like to
See
say
how that
Earth is
starts?
measured
Earth
flat,
has to be
and
flat.
then if inquired about, we can explain exactly what that represents. Yeah? Unlike ballers that say it's measured a globe, but then what they reference is pure after the fact calculation. Yeah, that presupposes
Not always.
a globe.
Not always. Sometimes it's
Doesn't
direct measurement,
presuppose.
whatever you want to call it. And there
Earth is
isn't
measured
anything
flat.
wrong with calculation. It's actually a very good thing for men to do.
It's actually better than direct measurement.
Yeah.
So did I hear that right? Like if the Earth weren't flat, then you wouldn't be able to measure it? I think I agree with that, but is that what I heard?
Yeah, pretty
That
much.
is what Nathan said and what
Yeah, that
Owen's
makes
agreeing to.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
it does make sense. And
So you
that's
can
what
never
that
check, right?
represents. So now that
So
we got out of the
Earth's
way
flat, we
what
can
it
never check if
represents,
Earth's
you can
flat.
drop complaining about the semantical, aesthetic objections that you have about how
It's a lo-
that
logical
elaborate
error.
thing is described in that one sentence.
Biggs, how are you going to check if Earth's flat if it has to be flat to do any measuring?
Well, the way that the measuring is done and celestial navigation and all that, yeah, it wouldn't work on a globe.
But,
Yeah.
but it had to be. You already said
You
it
can't
had to
work
be,
on a
so-
globe.
Celestial navigation can't work on a flat Earth.
No, it can. It
It
can
only
only
works on a
work on a
globe.
flat Earth. It can't work on a globe.
But
Because you wouldn't be able to have a baseline that's stable. Because you can't
That's
take
it.
a
That's the
baseline
question.
off a globe. It doesn't work like that.
To travel on
Geometric
a boat, Earth
impossibility.
Has to be a globe.
It's a geometric impossibility. You can't do that on a globe.
Who brought up the flat Earth all of a sudden? This is like really dumb. No you. Yeah, who
It's
brought the
Owen.
dumb
He's
thing
doing
up?
his show.
Was it
Owen's
manufactured him? Who did it?
no,
Oh,
somebody
and
asked
Blake
about
Coliseum.
Nathan Oakley.
Yeah, it's
And that's
Dawn.
where-
Yeah, you asked about
wound up.
Nathan Oakley.
No,
Is
it's
that
Dawn.
Dawn did.
No, this
Dawn.
started with me and Dawn. Dawn. I was claiming that flat earthers in general are more honest, and he said no, everything Nathan Oakley's ever said is a lie.
Don,
I don't know about
I
everything.
might have to.
I
I might have to.
don't think flat earthers are liars. I just think they've got flat heads. The reason why they have a flat head is because they're arguing about the shape of the Earth when we should be arguing about the problems that are on it.
Yeah, good one, mate. Good one.
Tell me, should we be concerned about whether it's square, it's oblong? What does it matter? It's the problems we got here we got to talk about, right?
No, I appreciate it though.
Ultimately, the implication is the
The
lie.
source of the problem. The source of the problem comes from foundational lies within our culture, like the globe.
Yep.
You can't solve a problem
I keep hearing this, and that's no. You're trying.
Oh,
you're like
thanks for
solve the
talking
whole
right
puzzle
through
at
him. He
once,
wasn't
and
done talking
You gotta
yet.
small the little pieces
Dude.
at one time first.
It's in the middle of talking.
I'm sorry, I apologize. Did I interrupt him?
Could you please finish what you were saying?
No, I was just saying that you can't solve issues without getting to the root cause of the issue. You can't solve politics if the foundation is built on lies. So things like flat Earth are vital to solving the smaller issues.
Yep.
But wouldn't other lies be better to expose than the fact that the Earth is round or flat?
Well, it's like dealing with symptoms. If you deal with the symptoms, you're not dealing with the cause of the discomfort or the disease.
But you're saying that all the cause of all the...
up.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you again. I apologize.
No, that was it. Go ahead.
Sure. Okay, so I don't understand how this one thing is... Everything's going to hinge on one thing, on one lie. You're saying once we do that, then the whole thing will just unwind magically. Is that what you're saying?
Okay,
All the lies will be
imagine you've got a corrupt police department, right? And
I do,
corruption
yes.
runs
Not imagine, I know I do.
the way.
Yeah.
Okay. So imagine the corruption runs all the way right through to the
federal level.
Centralized,
Right.
Yeah, the federal level, right? What's the I mean, if you deal with the issues of a certain police station and you replace the police chief, that's not going to solve the issue, is it? That might delay the issue, or it might solve, some surface level things for a while, but eventually that corruption will come back, right? Because it's at a federal level, right? And that's the same with the problems of the world. If the problems of the world are deep rooted in foundational aspects of society, there's no point dealing with the top end and scraping the cream off the top when the cause is coming from deep within.
Well, again, I just don't understand how the idea of this lie about the Earth, what is that going to trigger, or how is that going to cause some kind of cascade, right, in the truths? What other truths are going to be revealed by, that's just one truth, so once you reveal that, then what other truths become unraveled from that truth being revealed?
Space travel.
Space travel,
again,
evolution, relativity,
Radio tower
again,
communication.
you're going again off the planet. I'm talking about on the planet. What issues is solved on the planet, on the flat Earth or round Earth, whatever it is, right? What issues does that do when let's say it's flat, then, right? We've determined, we've convinced everybody it's flat. So what problems does that solve on the Earth? I mean, people won't be trying to go to space. I understand what you're saying there. Is this a problem?
You can use radio towers much more effectively, have long distance direct contact, right?
I'm sorry, I don't understand. What did you say?
On a flat Earth, you don't need satellites to connect up radio towers, for example, right? So you can just have direct communication, direct visuals.
No, I'm sorry to cut you off. These are problems. These are
no, they are problems that are actually solved. No, they're actually solved. So we don't need some agency to tell us because the Earth is a globe, we need all this technology to make this work, because it already works, because the Earth is flat. So they can't use that as an excuse to basically cash in a lot of money for the fake things that they do in order to make it work under the guise of the Earth being a globe.
Right, other than some maybe financial corruption, what
suffering
in humanity is this end?
Dude, it's psychological trauma. It's a psychological attack.
Yeah, you've got no idea the kind of attack I've been under, buddy.
Okay, well, I just want you to slow down for a second. I want you to realize that they're pumping out a paradigm where they're telling people that they're monkeys, right? And they're telling people that they're stardust, and that we originated from a sun that exploded quadrillions of miles away.
And trillions of years ago, right?
Yes. Right, and everything extrapolating even further out and longer out from that. They're just going further and further. They're trying to psychologically destroy dissent by telling you that you're nothing. And they do this to children mostly. Adults, they're too busy. They're kind of like consumed by work and other things. But the children are highly sensitive to the prospect of their future.
Yeah.
And so this is why NASA is always focusing on the children. It's all about psychological programming.
Well, that I would agree with, definitely. It's cultural
Yeah.
social engineering is what I call it.
Yeah, it's a social engineering campaign, but it doesn't stop at the children. It just starts there. It begins there, you know.
Right. Yeah, I mean, as far as NASA, like the moon, I don't believe we've been to the moon. You can just look at the footage itself that NASA's, turned out, and all the
it's
anomalies
ridiculous.
in it. It's like, I mean, really, this is real?
Well,
I hear...
compare any of the moon landings from any of the countries or any of the trips to the moon, right? They all look strikingly different. Like they're different film studios, different CGI, like different everything.
And
But
different
the point to say is
background
that
areas.
They are stealing the glory of God by owning the sky.
I like where that
And
sounds.
that's really really how it works.
I won't argue with you that there's definitely stealing. Right, these are Luciferians, as far as I can tell, that are running the show, and they definitely are against God. Right, they want to usurp His power, without a doubt.
I know you don't like to talk about flat Earth so much, and honestly, a lot of people don't even want to talk about it here. We'd rather talk about stuff like this, about like what it means or what the consequences are or where it's hurting people,
How people are being negatively affected in their lives. That's where I'm at, right? How do we resolve these pains and sufferings of humanity, each individual on this planet?
Tell the truth.
But yeah, it is a sick thing that they've purveyed upon the peoples of Earth, and I hope that we can heal from it.
Got no argument there.
Detached us from the created nature of this area. So.
Well, it looks like things are definitely moving in the right direction. No doubt about it. In fact, I would have never...
Doesn't have a choice.
10 years, right, I've been on this, and so I would have never dreamed that 10 years, right, when I started out, this is how far I would have gone.
Well, and all of the conspiracies are starting to be just revealed as like normal daily news. So.
Spoiler alerts. Trump actually said that, he said the conspiracy theories are spoiler alerts, quote unquote.
Yeah, I'm still waiting for my apology from all the leftists over the last 10 years who told me Pizzagate was fake news.
I know.
I'm waiting.
The left is really seriously indoctrinated. I mean, it's pretty bad. I never was very political, and I dare I admit the last time I voted was for old Slick Willie. Back in '91, that was the last time I voted. Because I could see the system was just bullshit. But now, like I said, about 10 years ago, actually, I made more of a shift to the right because I could see the left was completely and totally morally bankrupt. They're brain dead. I mean, I don't know how else to put it. This is what happens when you don't have God in your heart.
Well, you need to have some kind of foundational force, and God seems to be the most obvious choice.
Yeah, I mean, who else would you choose, right?
I know. Well, you say that, but I hear all kinds of weird obfuscation.
Do you? Okay. Well, maybe these people aren't completely rational. Dare I say this?
Well, I think there's, because of a lot of the trauma we've been through in this most confusing age, I think there's a lot of people who are upset with God, and they call it atheism, or they call it agnosticism, or whatever. But they're just upset at God. They're having a bad time. Is really what the answer is.
I'm thinking you put that very well, because I myself, until I dug him up out in the desert, I wanted to punch him in the nose for all the bad things that happened in this world. But then, when he sent me the sign, I was like, I understand now, God. I do.
Yeah, I've had a really bad time too, but I don't blame him for that.
No, I definitely figured out who was responsible. Definitely wasn't God. It was Lucifer. What do you know? Surprise, surprise.
Well, or also just other people. I mean, people are very nasty to each other, and they can.
Well, yes, in particular, those people belong to a Luciferian death cult.
Maybe. I mean, yeah, and they don't even know it. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
they don't even know they belong to a Luciferian
They
death cult.
don't even
Right.
know it.
Well, not
They
until
don't
they get
even
to the
know that
upper
they're in a
levels.
search of war.
Right. Yeah, not until they get to the upper levels, right, do they realize that what's going on. I think they really wait till they get old before they reveal the secrets to them. So then they're kind of like, too broken down and old to do anything about it if they don't like it.
Well, that makes me curious about. So, from what I know about the Kabbalah,
Yeah.
they request that you're over 40 and that you have a stake in your community, which means you have a big family, before you're allowed to begin to follow the Kabbalah.
Right, local businessmen, something like that, right? You're a pillar of the
Yeah,
community,
like
so to
there's
speak.
there's these prerequisites that make you like you have enough stake in the game that you're not going to turn
Right. Yes, I agree.
around. Yeah,
You're entrenched enough that you won't be going rogue on them.
exactly. It's like just another layer. Yeah.
But who is the Kabbalah?
What is the Kabbalah?
Who
What-
is?
yeah,
Who?
what
I
is
mean,
the
you're talking
Kabbalah?
about people being the Kabbalah. Who is the Kabbalah?
I mean, who
Oh no,
worships the Kabbalah?
yeah, worships the Kabbalah. It's like a book or some kind of doctrine or
The
it's
instruction manual.
a secret instruction manual. Yeah.
Yeah, it really is that.
On, how to be really how to be a Luciferian. I mean, what it looks like to me.
I mean,
Pretty
Yeah,
much.
it
I
is
mean,
kinda.
is there literally a
Potentially.
book, or is it
Yeah.
just
There's
conclusions?
literally a
from it?
book.
Where's it at? I need to look at it.
Go Google Kabbalah. You can go read it. K-A-B-B. K-A-B-B-L-E.
Or yeah. Kaballa.
Here we go. Okay.
H.
I never could remember how to spell it.
Yeah.
I just spell it C-A-B-A-L. That's the we're gonna call it.
Yeah, I gotcha. It's 2 B's, 1 L.
So it's K-A-B-B-A-L or L-A?
Yeah, it's funny. They make it seem
L-A, yeah,
they make it seem
L-A-L.
like very I don't know. They make it seem kind of like we're just trying to understand God and the universe and nature and make it sound all hippy dippy in the
Yeah.
description, but that's not what it's like.
No, I would agree. Definitely not that.
No, it's about it's about essentially like using magical energy
Divination.
to
Communication
it's
with
basi-
spirits or evil entities or whatever.
how do I say it? It's like wizardry.
Yeah.
Like you're being taught how to harness like real world energy
Right.
out of people and things.
It's witchcraft, really.
Yeah, it's like real witchcraft,
Yeah, yeah.
except you use it against people.
Right. It's not the kind that they teach you in Hollywood, right?
Right. It's
So-
like it's like the practice of energy harvesting and manipulation.
Yeah, I've heard the term loosh. They talk about that's what they're trying to harvest, apparently.
Well, the definition that I got, the Kabbalah is an ancient form of Jewish mysticism
Uh-huh.
that has its roots over 4,000 years ago. It encompasses a body of mystical teachings that explore the nature of God, the universe, and the soul. Kabbalah is often described as a received wisdom that has been handed down through many generations, emphasizing the spiritual and practical insights it offers for personal transformation. So I don't know, it doesn't sound very nefarious.
No, not at all, does it? It sounds very good on the front. But then again, who is their God? Right, that's what it all hinges on. And if their God is Lucifer, then it may sound all good, but it's clearly not, if that's who the God is we're talking about.
I think that's a bit semantics.
No, it's life. It's a lot of semantics.
It's more, yeah, if you're using it to cause harm or manipulate people, then it's trickery. If you're using it to self-improve, then it's okay.
I mean, I think that the only way you're going to find self-improvement is going to God and asking for his guidance.
Kabbalah is literally learning how to be like God, or close to.
Now, doesn't that sound kind of blasphemous? Wasn't there another guy, what was his name? Oh yeah, Lucifer, right? Didn't he think he was going to be God? Look where that got him.
But Lucifer is
Yeah, but
only
that's
got
why.
a bad context if you believe your Christian story. It's
I'm
not
sorry,
a bad context for everyone all the time.
No, right. Well, this is relativism, so to speak, right?
Yeah, I posted something. Might be.
I'm sorry, what's the opposite of that? Universalism, is that what you're doing?
No. There's certain absolutes in this universe, are there? Right? I were to go 100,000 light years away, it'd be the same thing.
How did we get on?
I think I brought it up.
Yeah.
Because our friend here was talking about how the higher echelons of like Freemasonry and like people who are in control, they're handed more authority once they pass a certain age and have enough stake in the game.
That's right.
And that reminded me, they reminded me specifically of the Kabbalah, which those are prerequisites. And then just a cursory research into Kabbalah comes back with Luciferianism and Mason and the upper echelons of Freemasonry. So I posted something about that, and if you guys are welcome to look it up. This is like an open secret. But what the Kabbalah is precisely isn't totally understood openly.
No.
So
you'd have to go and use the Kabbalah on a daily basis, I think, for years to understand actually what it is.
I know what it is.
It's even a secret among other, fellow Jews. So they're really not allowed to understand it past 40, and even then they're not given the whole thing. So.
Well, I was hearing with Masons, it's not till you reach the 32nd degree, and by then they're usually in their 60s. So maybe that's the next level up, right? 40, 60. Oh, that would make some sense. I'm at a 20-year time frame.
Black magic. You guys know what the difference between magic and black magic is, right?
White magic and black magic, yeah.
Well, so there's white magic, which is you're trying to impart good without telling people. Magic is just doing a trick, but you're telling them.
Right.
Oh,
You're
black
telling
magic
somebody
is
there's a trick.
black magic is basically involves lies. That's really what defines it. And it's often like you create a worldview that is false that you imprint upon somebody. And that's usually the foundation of black magic. And it can involve trauma and horrifying things too. But all that is really there to cement the specific lie that is actually the main purpose into the individual even further.
Yeah.
It's the imprinting of
black
lies.
Magic is just they're performing a trick, but they're just not telling you. They're just not telling you. That's the difference. Like there's magic and then there's black magic. One includes consent. The other one's just receiving. So how many times have you been performed on? They just didn't tell you.
Can only imagine. I say hundreds.
Exactly, and that's why we have to get away from like the television and the news and all this stuff, because it's just a perpetual black magic device.
I would agree with that. I haven't owned a TV in how long? Well, technically, I do have TVs, but I'm using them as computer monitors. But I don't.
So
broadcasting
looking
or anything like that. No cable.
I looked into it a little further, and I'm finding kind of the same thing about that. You know, that idea that they were Luciferians arise from anti-Semitic groups and you know, claims from you know, just people talking about it. But I would assume that there's some way that I could find the group itself, something that would, you know, represent its actual existence and people that belong to it. So where would I find that?
Go to a synagogue. Let me know.
No, you should be able to find the information online. I would think you should be felt the Kabbalah text. No, it should be available. I think so. I've never
I don't
tried
think
to
there is
look
a
into that.
single text though.
There are some rabbit holes I just don't go down because I feel that I'm hitting a slippery slope, right? And I could quickly slide down into, well, hell. I just don't go there.
But why would you take it on board as fact without investigating it to see if it is fact?
Well, yeah, make a good point there, and that's because, let's say I saw the side effects of it, right? So I don't actually have to look at the direct thing. I can see what the practitioners of it are doing and what effects they're having.
I was gonna say the same thing, but you said it for me. You'll know them by their fruit, Left Lane. I don't know if you've ever heard that before.
They're road apples.
And who are the practitioners?
Freemasons.
I think you're one of them.
Of Kabbalah?
That's what Freemason practices, Kabbalah.
I mean, I know a bunch of Freemasons. They're all good people. I don't, unless they're putting on a different mask and hiding it very well. But I've not ever met someone I would call a bad person that's a Freemason.
Well, again, they got a pretty good mask, and it wasn't until I ripped the masks off them that I figured out.
Yeah, they hide that.
I mean, I can just read the thing I posted. You guys just don't even pay attention to most things I post.
Well, I apologize. I'm kind of multitasking.
No, it's
right
okay.
now.
All the Masonic associations owe the Kabbalah their secrets and symbols. And this is from Albert Pike.
Oh, yeah.
Sovereign Grand Commander of Freemasonry, 1871.
Yeah,
I didn't see that. Mason, when the Mason learned,
light of
I know
Lucifer. I
it's
know the one
very
you're going to say.
triggering.
Yeah.
That's very triggering. I'm almost done.
Okay.
When the Mason learns that the key to the warrior on the block is the proper application of the dynamo of living power, right? So he's learning to harness energy.
The next line.
He has learned the mystery of his craft.
The seething light of Lucifer is within his hands.
He has learned the mystery of his craft. The seething energies of Lucifer are in his hands, and before he may step onward and upward, he must prove his ability to properly apply energy. Manly P. Hall. There you go.
It sounds nothing to do with Kabbalah. Like, they might have taken some symbols from it, but the Nazis took their symbols from paganism. Would you say they're pagans?
I don't know if you know, but the Nazis were obsessed with Freemasons.
Okay. Would you say they're pagans because they took their symbols from paganism?
Well, what was that? Gosh, it's slipping. The Vril Society. What do you think the Vril Society was?
Bro, Albert Pike was a Grand Commander of Freemasonry. Okay, you think they were just making this stuff like we're the source? They reveal themselves, bro.
Do you think the Nazis were pagan because they took pagan symbolism?
No, you. Okay, look, you are being intentionally obfuscational this morning.
Am I asking
Hold on,
dude.
Hold on.
I'm going to make a point. You were saying you were doing the no you flat no flat with Dawn this morning. So you're very like repetitional, and now, repetitionally speaking, you're making really poor arguments that are total straw man of what even the discussion is. No one was talking about pagan, and no one is conflating as bad as you are. So I don't know if you're just not paying attention. It's actually fucking
conflating the
infuriating.
Freemasons with Kabbalah.
No,
he was saying that the Nazis
you're
and
doing
paganism.
that. No one here is doing that.
What I
You
said
are.
is that at the core, right, at the higher echelons of the Nazi Party, it was the Vril Society. It was, higher ups were part of the Vril Society. You're telling me the Vril Society was not a pagan entity? It had pagan beliefs?
I don't know.
Well, go look it up. Go find out about the Vril Society.
Dude,
Get back to
I'm
us.
like reading the source, and you're saying I'm making shit up, and you're complaining to some pagan dog shit that you brought up.
I wasn't conflating anything. I was asking a
It's
question.
like, well, then stop talking
Are you
about
okay?
conflating stuff. Dude, are you okay?
No, you were conflating Freemasons
We're
with...
being
with
Are you
coherent,
okay?
and you're not.
Are you okay? Come on.
No, but I mean,
Let's take it
he
back
was
a notch.
doing that before. I
Hey,
mean,
can I get in real quick?
conflating.
I wanted to
Oh.
know if there's any. Just wanted to ask a question real quick. Is there any proof of any of these claims, like black magic, Kabbalah magic, like, all these spells? Like, there seems like baseless claims. So, like, how do we know this is actually like summoning like demons or something?
What?
Like,
Well, it doesn't deal with magic even.
hello?
Hello?
No.
Yeah.
How
Bruce,
do you
like,
know? Well, you got to do your research. That's how.
Do your research. Come on, dude. It's gonna
It's-
be obvious,
we were-
self-evident, right? Like,
You're
No,
just
not everything
using
is
words
black
that like we just went into details of like what is black magic? What does that actually do? Yeah,
that doesn't
that's
make
the
it
spells.
true.
Yeah, it does make it true.
Yeah, it makes
Because
it
these
for 10
things happen.
times
Black
story-
magic happens.
story
It's
time.
based
No,
on
okay, well,
lies
show
and
me.
imprinting worldview, but apparently
show
you don't
me.
really want to know because now I'm explaining it to you again. It's already been explained. You
can
talked
say
right
words,
over it,
dude,
so
all
you
you
didn't
want.
really come here to
Show
really
it.
know, did
What is
you?
your question? Let's synthesize this question better though. What is your question? Repeat it again.
Is there any proof for black magic fucking rituals?
Yeah, lies.
Photographic proof. They've got photographs of them performing these rituals, and even old film of them performing these rituals. But that would suffice.
You can perform all you want. Does it do anything? Does it have utility, function? Like,
Yes.
Is there actual demons? Like,
Okay.
okay,
Well,
yeah,
are they in
show me.
control of the world?
Yeah,
Must be
it's
working
not a
on it.
video
Control
game
world, right?
reality. No, look, Helios
don't
is
need a black
obviously
black
here
magic
to
demon to
imprint
control the
the
world.
false video game version where everything is all exoterized, right? Made into something else more tangible, right? Yeah, we just explained the esoterics of it, what it actually is, right? And that it's very
don't care
practical,
what it is.
provable
I'm
things.
asking,
Very
does it work?
practical and provable. Yeah, there's not some horned little thing that jumps out of a portal like in the video games or in the television series, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? These are
I can-
real
I
things.
can
These are
help you.
effects
I
that
can
are
help you
part of
with
us that we get subjected to. You can like translate it into other formats like psychology and it still holds up. Yeah, it's very real.
I can help you, Helios. So, like, when someone's performing a magic trick and they're really good at it, and you're like, whoa, how did you do that? That is the effect of you having consent and being wowed. Okay? I'm just telling you that when people aren't expecting a trick, you have free reign and an unlimited amount of time to perform your trick. Right?
Yeah,
So with no
haven't you watched
constriction.
those magic trick videos where they reveal like magic tricks
That's-
revealed, and they have like
that's fine.
strings or like sleight of hand
Ah.
movements, but it's not an
Yeah.
actual demon. They're switching like
No, I
things
agree.
up.
Oh, no,
behind the
really?
I agree.
scenes, like,
Okay, cool. Well, I agree. That's what I'm saying is that when you have an unlimited amount of time and you have total free reign to perform a trick on an unsuspecting audience, that is why black magic is so powerful. Because instead of a small audience of like a studio or whatever people are tuned into the TV, you can have a whole world fall for your trick because all you have to do is not tell them it's a trick.
there's David Copperfield doesn't claim that it's black magic demons. They're like switching. Like,
You're not. You're.
Yeah, because
okay,
he's-
now you're doing the same thing that manufacturer.
Because
is.
that's
Why
a
don't you guys
stage
go jerk off
magician.
in another room, yeah.
It's
no,
not the
I'm
same
trying to
thing.
get to where the demons at. Like, are you
didn't-
conjuring?
Yeah,
like,
inside of you, you dumb
demons?
fuck.
Or are you
Inside
just-
of you. They're a part
Come on,
of
guys.
us. Psychology.
Don't-
They're inside of you. What the fuck? The hell was that? Ugh. Got disconnected.
Show me the demons. Show me the actual
Inside of
conjuring
you. Yeah, they're not
Okay, how do you
a
prove
physical thing that's gonna jump out of some kind of interdimensional portal, okay? You don't seem to want to let sink in. This is
The
ridiculous.
idea is
So
that
how do you know
he,
it's
doesn't,
real?
he doesn't grasp the concept these are energy frequencies. He's thinking more in a material world.
Yeah, he is. So he's grabbing hold of the exoteric interpretation that's unleashed on video game culture and television series and ooh, spooky things. Yeah. That's a metaphorical exoteric representation of these real world, mostly psychology based effects that are a part of being human and the consciousness. Yeah? That's where the demons preside. They're a part of what we can allow ourselves to become. And then in that state you think that's you, it's not really you, and it's really unhealthy for you. And when you snap out of it, you feel like, how the hell was I even thinking that was me? Those are all typical
feelings
side
are all
effects of being
biological,
possessed
right?
by a demon. They make it think
You
that
said
it
feelings,
is you, it
Everything
isn't.
around us is electromagnetic. So.
But but so it's not physical then. So why do you
Yeah.
guys keep invoking physical properties? Like he
The
said,
energy
feeling
has an
you'll
effect on the
feel it
physical.
leaves.
What the fuck is wrong with you,
But
man?
energy has to do with this realm. You guys are saying these demons are in another realm, having an effect on this realm. Like, how is that possible?
Really? Who's
Show
saying
us
that
proof
here?
of that.
Who's
Said
saying
it's
that?
on the inside of you, dude.
Oh, no, you're saying that.
He said it's on the inside.
Yeah, spiritually. It's a part of our consciousness. Yeah, in the realm of consciousness, which is arguably another dimension. Right? It's not a physical other place. It's not some portal of a physical place to another physical place where there's physical creatures, yeah? I mean, how many more times does this need to be explained to you, because you keep dropping back in the exoteric, poetic, the popular interpretation? That's not what we're talking about.
And physical, like demons in another realm, dude. I need proof of it. You're just saying.
Yeah,
this
now
stuff.
you're doing it
You're just
again.
making
Are
up
you
the 10
demented?
times stories,
Are
bro.
you demented? Because you keep doing this right after I pointed it out to you.
Okay, that's all you had to say, dude. Like, come on. You're just pretending now.
I did say it to you 3 times. You keep doing it though.
Okay, then. So you got proof. So show me.
I can't show you the inner workings.
Well,
I can
why are
only
you
explain it to you because
why are
it's
you
not a
making baseless
physical,
claims,
tangible
dude?
thing. Yeah? It's spiritual.
then.
It's a
Well, then you're
spiritual
lying.
Oh my god, dude.
He's not lying. Why would you say that?
Well, because he has no proof. So he's just making up pretend time stories, bro. Like anybody could do
Yeah,
that.
cool. You can fuck off now. Yeah, if you don't want to
Well, I
believe
just don't
shit,
let 'em
if
trick
you're
you.
like a spiritual nihilist and you don't want to learn anything, you don't care, you don't believe
No,
because
I
there's
don't
no
wanna
tangible
believe in
aspect, well then go
make-believe
fuck
stories,
yourself, go
bro.
somewhere else.
I
gonna
don't
say
want to
that, you know,
believe
that's
in
one thing.
make-believe stories.
One thing I like
he's
about
just-
flat earthers is that you don't get an open mind, and I think that's probably the most important aspect of the flat earth thing, is that it opens your minds up to possibilities that may seem impossible.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't accept things without evidence.
Yeah. Well, I got evidence. It's personal experience. I can talk about it, but I can't make you experience it. Obviously. Yeah? Skeptics,
Then it's
people that
your-
don't believe
then
in
that's
God
your
cannot be
imagination, bro.
made to believe in God. Yeah, you can
so you
yell
don't have
like,
the evidence
show me
then."
God then, show me. And then we explain, and then like logical processes, ontological primitive, and you'll
I
just
think it
dance
makes-
around it and then not believe it, and then you
Let's
have
cut
no
off, but let me
evidence, and
interject
that's what
something
you
on your
do.
point there.
It's called
God,
being
you know,
closed off. Yeah,
I
you're
didn't-
not
I
open.
didn't believe in God until I actually saw. I mean, this guy's skeptical, right? But when I saw the hand of God move, I was a believer then, and
Cool.
I've been ever since, right? With no doubt whatsoever.
Cool. Well, yeah,
Hold
I
on,
guess
he made
that
a
you
claim.
experienced
Okay,
that.
Hold on, Arwen. He made a claim. He saw the hand of God. Okay, what does the hand of God look like?
See? He's just doing it again.
No, what do you mean? See,
Yes,
You
ah,
The
just
hand
made
of
a
God is
positive
moving
claim.
things. It's manipulating things, right?
It's
Okay,
metaphysical.
Did you see a hand, or did you see
No.
No,
like, a
I
little
have the
claw?
ring of faith, is what I have.
Yeah,
I have a
it's
tangible physical
metaphysical.
object.
Okay, you have complete trust in something without evidence, but you said
No,
you've seen the
it's
hand of
just
God do
not
things.
I have
physical
the ring of faith.
evidence.
You're not listening, are you?
No, he isn't.
Are you speaking literally
God
or
led me
No.
to the ring of faith. A guy was guided by a Christmas angel. I know it all sounds wacky and crazy, but that's how it happened.
It is.
It is, yeah,
wacky and
yes,
crazy,
yeah, because
dude.
you're
I
closed.
realize it sounds that way, but that's how it happened.
Closed-minded.
But how do you know it was the hand of God?
Because the sequence of events that happened were so random and chaotic to lead me to that point, that the statistical probability of it happening were like 1,000,000,000 to 1. That's how.
Hey, but the odds and are you an odds and probability like master?
I'm not a master, but I've had up to differential equations.
Yeah, but I'm just look.
Statistics is another line. I've had some statistical
I'm
analysis.
wondering how do you
math
get
classes,
to
but
it was God? How did you pinpoint it was God? You said random chance.
Because I said a prayer. God.
Okay, but there's people who pray to Kali Ma. Do you know who Kali Ma is?
But then when they pray to God,
and they get
do they turn
things.
around and turn on their metal detector, take half a swing, and a ring pops out? No, that doesn't happen. I'm sorry.
Random things happen. That's the nature of this
Random,
place.
yes. Dude,
So, like,
this
to
is a waste
attribute
of our
it to
time.
God, I think is
What
almost,
happened was not random.
What would that be called?
Yeah.
Guessing.
So, can you go now? Because you're not
Why do you
gonna be
want me to go,
convinced.
bro? What did I
You're not
do?
gonna be convinced,
I'm
obviously.
questioning
We're not
things.
gonna show you a fucking physical object, so why don't you just get the hell out of here and stop wasting our time?
Well, you don't
Why are
gotta
you
kick
trying to
him.
run me
Yeah, I
away,
can show
bro?
him. I've got a
That's
picture of a ring of
what-
faith somewhere around here. Let me see if I can post it.
But yo, good like
Yeah,
he's
you're not
kinda
being very
bringing up-
convincing.
He's bringing up the point I was bringing up yesterday when I was asking, like, okay, maybe none of the books or texts have answers. That's why I laid it down to like your personal experience, and that's what he's talking about with the hand of God. That's his personal experience, his own account that's made him a believer.
Should I
Yeah,
post
dude,
this
but
image?
how, like, dude,
Channel, would you like me to post it in?
our ability to identify things and place like a culprit for it are not that good. Like sometimes, like you can hear like a tree fall, but we don't know if it's a tree falling. It could be a car crashing. It could be a bird smashing a window. It could be many things. Like we're always doing that all the time, right? We're always trying to place things, like identify things. But see, you guys are even breaking the law of identity by saying, oh, by random chance alone, in my experience, it was God that did it. Like,
Yeah, I don't know what to say. You had to be there that day. It was a series of events throughout the day that led me to that moment, right, when it all came to fruition.
culminated. Okay, but it doesn't mean that it's
Yeah,
God.
it doesn't mean
could have
anything to you.
been-
I know, it's all just
don't think it was the devil.
inconsequential. It's just a waste of everybody's time, and you're wasting our time with
Don't
your
have permissions to
inability
post
to
it.
understand
dude.
or accept any of it.
Does-
Helios,
Yeah, that's my
wasting
right
our
to,
time.
bro. Like,
You're wasting our time. It's really
I'm
tedious.
not wasting your time.
Yeah,
dude.
you
I'm
are.
trying
You
to
are
help
fucking
you with
wasting
your-
my time.
with your
If you don't get the hell out of here, or if somebody doesn't kick you out, I'm gonna
Would you guys stop
discontinue
arguing
my
and let
show
me give
here.
me-
Because I don't
Audience.
want this to be... I have to convince some stupid asshat that just can't see beyond their own frickin' nose. Yeah, I don't want my show to be that. I don't want you in my show, Helios.
The thing is, Helios, is that you have to find an opponent to debate if you're trying to debate something. You can't just come in here and just like hate on people who don't really give a shit about what you think.
Just asking questions.
No, you're not.
If these guys want to,
No, you're not.
Want to
You're
provide
just wasting
proof,
our
if
time.
not, then they're just
Yeah, we gave you
pretending.
answers, you didn't
I'll
listen.
be back in a minute here.
We gave you answers. You didn't listen. Stop wasting my time.
Debate chat. There's the ring of faith. My hand. And that's part of it too, guy. You don't go out, wander randomly out into the desert, find a Christmas angel, say a prayer, turn on your detector, take half a swing, and there's a ring that fits you on your wedding ring. Okay? I mean, where does this happen? I took this actually as a sign to get married, and in fact, I'm so glad that I did the right interpretation that, God was just saying, get married, dumbass!
Nice.
That's pretty
I'll be
cool.
back.
I'm speechless, bro. Like,
Good.
What?
Get out of here.
What people will?
Oh, that would be nice.
Darwin, man. Yeah. Come on, man.
No. Get out of here, Helios.
Well, let's
We're
take
done.
a show of hands.
It's
Who wants
not
I'd
to
like
your
to
room.
continue
It's not
conversation
your
with
room.
people that
That's
aren't
for Riggs.
intellectually incompetent.
This is Riggs' room. It's for Riggs to make
Yeah.
that call.
Well, Riggs happens to
But-
agree with
and-
me.
Am I asking for too much here, Left Lane?
Yes.
Do you think?
What he wants to do, he needs to hear the whole story.
Wait,
So if
hold
you hear
on.
the
Left
whole
Lane, do
day,
you think I'm
how the
being-
day
do you think
started
I'm-
out at 4 in the morning,
Can I
right?
ask
You heard how
Left
the whole
Lane a
day started,
question,
and how by
please?
4 p.m., there's the Ring of Faith. So 12-hour period,
Towering over me,
wandering
bro.
out in the desert.
Yeah,
I mean,
you
it's a
already
long story.
explained that
I don't know if I
story,
want to even
dude.
get into it now.
Christmas angel came to you, showed you where a ring was, and told
The
you to
Christmas
get married.
angel didn't come.
Okay, Riggs, I'm gonna leave because
It's the
this
kind
guy
of
is not
Christmas
gonna.
angel you put on top of a Christmas
So,
tree.
Thanks for letting me be part of
This
the
guy is
show.
really- I
Before
think he's-
Helios came
he's
in
trying
to
become
obviously
Adam
ruin
because
it.
He's feeding off of that energy. Is what is doing.
Yeah, he's ruining the show. That's what he came here to
We
do.
don't care about your opposition to Helios. Like I said, you're trying to debate something. You got to find somebody who cares about what you think first.
Debate anything, dude. I'm just asking for
That's
evidence.
two sides of debate,
Not
right?
Too much to ask.
Yes,
Left Lane, you
yes,
think
it's
that's
too much to ask. Now shut the
dude?
hell up and get out of here.
It seems that you are asking a bit too much right now.
Left Lane, what do you think?
I think it's a touchy subject when you're asking for, physical evidence, and I would, if I was on y'all's side, I would just say here's why I believe this, and it's good enough for me, and that should be it. I mean, if you don't have physical evidence, just say I don't have physical evidence. I've got my own experience that causes me to believe this, and that's what I choose to believe.
Right. Yeah, but
Right, but, like,
Helios
why do they
doesn't
have a
want
problem
that.
with somebody
Helios will just
questioning?
let people make their testimony, finish it out, so that he can have the last word to say to everybody, yeah, well, that's not good enough for me. It doesn't mean anything. And this is what he keeps doing over and over and over and over again. And I wish he'd get the fuck out of here now.
So it's not good enough for him. It's not good enough for
Yeah,
me
well, we
either.
don't care it's not good
I don't
enough.
choose to believe that.
I don't
I
care.
think you guys
Yeah,
already gave
but
your
the difference-
testimony, right? We're
Just
just
go
kinda
away.
questioning the validity of these things.
Go away.
Is there a crime in that?
Or trying to forth with you.
I mean, it could be more of a conversation instead of all the, the aggression. It doesn't have to have all the aggression attached to it.
Yeah, well, we were having a really
Aggressive,
interesting,
not
cool
just
show
asking.
until
It
this
seemed like
asshat came in
Arlen
and
was being
ruined
the
it.
antagonist. Or more
I'm
like,
going to mute you now. Thank God.
The thing is, Helios, is like, it's every time that you're in here that you cause problems like this, and maybe you don't notice because you're only here when you're here. But I'm here all the time, and I notice that when you're here, this is what happens. Yeah. Yes, every single one.
Say just to point out here that the way you're talking to, you're tending to talk over people, and I know the Discord thing is a little bit awkward sometimes, but I don't think you're making enough of an effort to wait a chance, right, to get your point in. You're injecting a little too soon.
Well, luckily for me, as a server owner, I don't have to substantiate it. But anybody who's here when you're not here knows what I'm saying is true.
Alright. Well, he's not going away. You're not going to kick him out. So I'm going to leave. So thanks guys for participating in the show. It was really interesting until Helios came in and ruined it. Blatantly.
No, it's fun.
But it was
You can
interesting.
chill for a minute.
Huh. Cool. Thank you. That's better. Because I was really interested in like the conversation about the Kabbalah and black magic and what that really means, and I appreciate also the other guys here sharing their personal experiences, how they came to the conclusion God exists and all that. I thought it was really interesting.
Well, the thing about the Kabbalah, it's what I hear today about the Kabbalah is 180 degrees contradictory to what you read about the Kabbalah as far as history goes. And I'm kind of interested, where did that change? Where did that shift? And where did the idea that it was a Luciferian worship cult?
Well, that was King Solomon. That's where it all
from?
changed right there, because he was the one conjuring demons.
What?
King Solomon.
Well, couldn't it instead just be said that Luciferians came later and then basically assimilated the Kabbalah and made it their foundation, and since they are kind of dominant in their influences, people just started to associate the Kabbalah with Luciferians because it's Luciferians that really used it foundationally. Could it be explained that way?
I'm pretty sure the Kabbalah came again out of what,
King Solomon summoned demons through sigil magic, like Abramelin, stuff like that.
Again, that was the culmination, I think, of some of his works, right? It built in this Kabbalah at some point. Then other groups later on in society took the Kabbalah on for themselves, right?
I don't think it worked that way.
So how do you know that King Solomon literally had the Kabbalah? Isn't the Kabbalah just inspired by King Solomon instead? That it's referencing him?
Exactly.
Yeah, so the Kabbalah wasn't around then, it was made later.
Right. Just like the Old Testament, right? I mean, that was made later.
Right.
New Testament even later. For a linear point A to point B, and that's not how it works, right? It was more organic, more fractal. It's progression.
I'm with Left Lane on this one. Like, everything I know about Kabbalah has nothing to do with the stuff I've been hearing for the past hour.
Do you find it odd that all three of us have independently come up with the same conclusions, right? Riggs, myself, and I'm sorry, I can't see the other gentleman. Just talking.
Not if you all source your information from roughly the same places.
Right. Well,
we all
you
got
find
it off
God
the
in your
internet, so it's the
experiences.
same place.
You find God in your experiences because He's connected to our consciousness, right? But yeah, the consciousness is in our experience.
From Jews, and I got my information from Jews and Freemasons, so I don't know. You figured it out.
We would say that's the horse's mouth, no?
I got mine from practicing Kabbalist. I don't know if that...
The horse's mouth.
One main route into
one was
Alistair Crop.
Raleigh, that's right. Blavatsky, I don't know if I'm pronouncing your name right.
Blavatsky.
Blavatsky, thank you. Abramovich confused together, I don't know why. It's like jam the two names together.
So did you say that King Solomon was something about summoning demons? Is that what you said?
He's famous for either doing it himself or hiring people to work magic. And some of that's based on Kabbalah, and some of it goes further. It's like medical, weird stuff. But Black Mirror's conjuring, I guess is the word. Pretending you're speaking to angels and demons.
Yeah, Salomon's seal, also.
Protected him from them getting hold of him. So it's
See, again,
his force field.
What I just read about King Solomon Nothing to do with what y'all are saying about it. So I don't see, it's confusing when you go and you investigate and you find stuff that's completely contradictory to what you're what's being told.
It's called Solomonic magic, but if you go and research exactly about him, his life isn't all about that. That's just one thing.
Problem.
He was involved. Well,
I was going to say maybe the problem here too is that the Google algorithms are intentionally not giving you the other side. They just want to give you the front, not the back.
Well, traditionally, Solomon was known for having summoned demons and done this sort of magical stuff. Like where that started, whether that's true or not, I don't know. But that's a story that's sort of been in the ether for quite a while. I don't know, like historically, if you could say that, but that is kind of a thing that's been trotted around.
And I'd say that does come from Egypt and Jewish mysticism. But he developed it more. King James.
Well, the magical.
Hired demonologists.
The magical.
That's what I read.
Yeah, the magical systems that are attributed to King Solomon certainly repute that he was the one that started them. Like Ars Goetia, someone mentioned the Key of Solomon. Solomonic magic is said to have come from them, but it's mostly Solomonic magic that says that. And whether that's trustworthy or not, I don't know, but yeah.
So I was half agreeing with that thing to say that's not his main thing.
Well, I mean, it is what he is most known for, though.
In the occult, yeah, but like the Christians
in general, not in a cult. In general.
Well, the Christians don't think of him looking into a black mirror. They think of him being a good king of the Israelites or something, don't they?
I mean, to cut up a baby.
Do they? I mean, it's Old Testament, right? Is it, by the way?
He might not have existed. He might be a myth, like people say about other people. Sol, On. They say that's 3 names for the sun, so it's just a made-up name, like Jarbulon.
Waz, right? Where these names come from.
But I believe there was kings that were into magic. That makes sense.
He specifically probably did exist. Like there was probably a historical king named King Solomon.
It's a common name, isn't it? When we have Better Call Saul. There's loads of references to Solomonic magic. The soul. Maybe that's another coincidence.
Possibly linked to the root word soul, right? The sun.
I think so, but the words get tied together at different times, backwards and forward.
I mean, when it's that long ago, it becomes really difficult to even establish like how the meanings of all the words that were attributed back then. So to just say, oh, this name, because it has something in it, it means that, no.
The other thing I was going to mention is that their friends find it hard to believe that some Masons are Luciferian. And I guess that's quite hard to explain, but it's just weird metaphysics some men choose. You don't have to.
Yeah, I mean, it's what I heard even when I was much younger. Like, I met Luciferian Freemasons, and back then they were still kind of secret about it. But it's like, yeah, there are Freemasons that are just kind of Christian, and they don't really get involved with power conspiracies and all that. And then there's those that are like blatantly Luciferian, and they really like, because there is this story within Freemasonry about Lucifer and basically how he's the hero. So
exactly.
Good guy, he freed us from the Garden of Eden.
So there's like two sides, like within Freemason.
You can even see him as a weirdo, yeah, and untrustworthy, but the point is he might stick up for us when God's mad. It's just a weird hero figure, like Batman. Yeah, you don't fully trust him, but he might be there to save your kid.
I don't know about that. But arguably, like Lucifer is the one that punishes evildoers, right? Like being king of hell is, I don't know that being bad would be like you'd get on his good side. That's his whole job. But technically he's still on the side of good, I guess.
That's what some people say, yeah.
In that sense.
And actually in this whole Jewish mysticism, they do believe that God is Satan and Satan is God. Is above, below.
I think that's Gnosticism.
Yeah, that is Gnostic. That's basically the, what do they call it again? The demiurge.
Yeah.
That's
yeah,
distinctly
one
Gnostic.
reading of,
it's
like a reading of monotheism, and then you rebel against it and say, no, we're going to make our own thing up where monotheism's bad.
Right, so that's a completely different route.
Not monotheism is bad, it's just that it's not true.
Well, the rebellion, it's like, they keep saying Father God is doing this and that, so we're going to make up a myth where he's actually the opposite and he's a bad dude.
Right, but I mean, monotheism came into being also to get rid of the terrible pagan deities. Like, that was the reason why they did that, because they needed a religious excuse to unify people into, like, making that stop. Like, making Baal worship stop.
Yeah.
Like, that was a good intent.
Moloch too, don't forget him.
Yeah.
It's got us to here we are now.
Exactly.
This rebellion.
Yeah, but they just proceeded underground, though, obviously, because it's still there. But I mean, the law systems, like how the laws are like derived from God's laws, like they are originally created based on that, and it's been more Luciferianized, I guess, or just more earthly based. But it was really all possible because of monotheism. It's monotheism really helped to forge the legal standard system that we are all living under. Because if there's like multiple gods, then you can't really have a singular standard like that. Because they're gods of different rules. See? So
yeah, it was never gonna work.
Right.
And a person, oi, Faye, we got too many gods here.
Right. Right, but I mean, technically, even monotheism doesn't say technically that there is only one God. And like when that's said too, it's not literal. It's just what it says is there's only one God you should worship. It's like a common misconception through Christianity and through popular interpretation that there's literally only one God. But this is actually not recognized as such. It's just telling you, monotheism is telling you there's only one of those gods that you should worship.
Yeah, I agree. I haven't got a problem with people trying different ideas and it's spreading. That's not. I was just saying Gnosticism feels like a reaction to that.
Well, Gnosticism in a sense is sort of Luciferian. But I mean, it's complicated. Like Gnosticism to me is like really complicated because there's like really good things about it that are all about the balance between you and the world and all that, and like the struggle. But on the other hand, like, I do not like the idea that at the top, the demiurge is like at the top, and that he's has dark intentions, like that we're in the realm of a dark thing.
Yeah.
Like, in its totality,
right.
I just don't agree to that. I think that whatever darkness is out there is the servant of a greater light, right? And that is what like Christianity really emphasizes, is like, no, there's the God above and the devil rules the earth. Like, so it already kind of says the same thing, but Gnosticism basically just doesn't recognize that there is a benevolent God above it all. That's the main difference.
Yeah, it's the sort of nihilism of just saying no to any claim.
Well, it's in a way atheism within spiritual non-atheism. It's very strange like that.
Recursive in a way.
Yeah.
I don't agree God's all bad like a demiurge. I think it's a misunderstood, confused situation.
Right, because I mean the real God comes from within. Like, we're rooted from the real God. Like, we're not rooted from this demiurge. It just doesn't, it feels wrong. I mean, we might have traits from it, just like we would have aspects of Satan and Lucifer that keeps seducing us, etc., and that could possess us, right? But there's also the other root, which is like really benevolent, and it is like more overwhelming too. Like, its rewards are very significant, and Gnosticism just doesn't give any recognition to that at all. It doesn't give a recognition to the power of good, of the benevolence of God, and that I don't like. And like Gnostics that are really into it, every time I hear them like speak or whatever on some video, and I mean they get really popular too, they get promoted and everything, it just oozes with like darkness. They can't help it. I don't know if they actually intend it to be like that, but it just feels like they're drenched in darkness.
Well, the good for them is knowledge, isn't it? Knowing everything.
Yeah. And I mean, knowledge is a big part of it.
Well, the idea of being your own God, right? Because you've accumulated so much knowledge, you then have the same knowings, so to speak, as God.
Right. Yeah, but in a way, even Jesus' teachings are
right,
like that.
Positivity.
The weird thing is that
hope and positivity.
Yeah, but the weird thing is that even Jesus teaches that to a certain extent. Like, you can be like me and surpass me. Like, the God is within, like the individual, but it always is that connection between you and the greater God. Jesus is God. It's a connection, so it's still recognized that there is that God that you can connect to and then have that greater power. While Gnosticism denies that and just says, no, it's just you. And you can be that God, not to be connected with the greater God that's outside of the realm, but it's just you.
I find funny. In Gnosticism, they even say the goddess is bad because she had this abortion. But behind our back, behind God's back.
Yeah, bizarre. That's a really weird trait to it.
Even the goddess is like a mistake.
Yeah, that's also a part that I really object to, is that like the whole creation here is supposedly all a mistake. And that's just like, how can this all be a mistake when there's such amazing things and there's such amazing beauty and connection and like just surreal experiences that connect things up and all that? How can that all come forth from something that's just a mistake? It just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, because when you have these experiences, you feel like God is in control behind it all. Well, Gnosticism just fundamentally seems to deny that. Or it's just telling you, no, that's just a trick from the demiurge to make you believe that.
That's it, yeah.
And it's like, that's just messed up. I mean, it feels messed up to me, at least.
Well, I think that what we feel in our hearts, right? That's kind of like A detector, so to speak.
Maybe some Gnostics think we can leave the Matrix. That's a more modern view, maybe.
Right, but I mean that part.
What do you mean leave?
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, that idea of like where we could be here to escape this specific setting, and like you'll reincarnate if you keep failing. That part in a way does resonate with me, and it would also just like, yeah, it's like heaven. It's not just you get one shot and that's it, and then you go to heaven or hell, or not to heaven or whatever. But like you have to earn it through lifetimes to actually escape this test. I do kind of appreciate that from Gnosticism.
Yes.
So for me, it's just in my heart and mind, I've kind of just merged it. I merged Christianity and Gnosticism, took elements of both, and just like it really fits to me. So there is a benevolent God behind it all, and we do reincarnate. Even with Jesus, the Book of Thomas, like it is, yeah, like actual Jesus teaches has like Gnostic traits to it, but he does definitely emphasize like the God is good behind it all, and that part seems to just be scrubbed out by Gnosticism. If they only had not done that, I would have just be like, yeah, I'm a Gnostic, right there. But yeah, the way it is now is just like no, I can't do that. It's polluted. It's dark. It's just wrong. Like, there's something wrong about it. It's diluted.
The idea, maybe it's not the demiurge that's the threat, but it's all of the stuff that's grown since, all the demons, archons.
Yeah. Well, I think that they are there. They're there in the other dimension. Then we can be in contact with them, and they can take us if we allow them to. If we don't follow God's laws, then we don't follow the right things and the right impulses, they will take you, and then you will think that you are them. You will think that experience of them possessing you is you. And then they basically unify with you, and you lose your original spiritual blueprint and just become them. But it's different because they become you. That's possession, right?
I think of that thing from was it Stargate? Yeah, the Gual or whatever, the little worm that lived in their heads.
Yeah, but that's like a literal parasite that takes you over,
but
right?
Replace that with demon, right? And the idea is you sort of have this, as you point out, the duality, right? Where you're you and you're this thing too at the same time. How do you even begin to separate them within yourself? They merge.
Right. Well, it's like you can go, there's a spectrum of frequencies that you can basically be in spiritually. And when you go certain directions, you'll find frequencies that are associated with like demonic behavior. And that is where your view on things will change, adapted to that frequency. And what you want will change based on that frequency. And those changes are basically my identifiers for demons. Because you in your natural state, really being yourself, being in balance and down to earth, like you would never want that naturally. It's only when you get caught up into like, yeah, spiritual wandering and intense behavior and lusts and all that, that's when you get caught up in those unnatural demonic behaviors and become possessed by them if you keep chasing it. Until they start taking their price. Because there is a price to it. Always is.
There's always a price to pay.
Right. They never just give you that experience and then leave you alone without taking something. Right. Can you imagine Helio being in this room and us having to explain this to him? The conversation would just not have worked at all. And that's why I told him to get the hell out of here, because I wanted to have this discussion. But if he was here, the total conversation would have been completely ruined.
It seemed to me like he was just getting too concrete, right?
I'm kind of ruining it right now.
But we need to remember his point of view is that it's supernatural, could be a delusion, and we can't prove it. So maybe we're all crazy.
Sure.
Collective insanity, huh?
Yeah,
That's
what a waste of time, though.
To just say that's not real, but they're still scared. Those atheist people are still scared of the cosmicness, just not like in an entity way.
No, I don't know. Fear also possesses you. Fear is also the devil. It also makes you behave in a certain way. So I disagree. I think that there is definitely a devil in atheism if you have fear, which a lot of them do. Fear drives them.
We could say the universe is scary, cosmic horror. Like you could explain it to them in a different way.
This idea of energies, right? Negative energies and positive energies. But once they allow themselves to be taken over by negative energies, then the demons can do their bidding.
Right. But I personally wouldn't say positive, negative energy, because that is already like bordering on like actual technical physical energy. I would really attribute it more to frequency, because it is kind of relative, like the intensity of it. It's all relative, like how you deal with it. The context for your consciousness is so incredibly important. Like you could technically have like a frequency shift in a flight of rage, but if you control that, if you don't let it take you over and ruin things, are you demon possessed, or are you just seeking out that frequency in the moment to change something and then you go back, right? Real possession is defined by basically that frequency being sought out, and then you get addicted to it, and then you won't let it go, and then it starts to consume your life.
Snowballs.
Right? It's when the frequency, when you get stuck in it, that's the real possession. You can't get out. It won't let you go. Otherwise, you're just wandering into it, you're experiencing it, you're letting it manifest, and then you get out of it again. I mean, everybody has that. Everybody gets super angry at some point in their life. I mean, you'd be not human if you wouldn't.
That's right. Or sociopath.
Scientologists think we're all infested with millions of entities called Satans, and we can get rid of them by paying for auditing, which means
yeah, very smart.
Speaking about what your embarrassments and what you've done in life.
Right. And then there's the Rudolf Steiner model, which I really like to follow, which says like, yeah, there is two other forces besides the middle path Christ, balance force, that try to pull you out of your balance, try to pull you out of the middle path. Ahriman, basically Satan, the destroyer, the killer, death. And Lucifer, the seducer, the self-imposed god, right? And those on both sides try to pull you away. Those are also like frequency seductions. It's like, ooh, when you're very young, you get seduced by Lucifer because you have all this energy and you're still ignorant, and it will just trick you into basically relinquishing your humanity or rejecting God. That's what Lucifer does in that model, specific model. And Ahriman is like the depressor and the automaton. It wants to make you into a robot. It wants to make you into a zombie. It wants to make you give up your humanity. And that leads to death if you do it too much. Because you'll literally... And that's a very successful model for me.
That links back to Kabbalah, Owen, because there's two paths up the tree, and then there's a middle way.
I was curious, Arvin, where do you get the idea of the Ahriman? Where do you get that?
I just told you, it's Rudolf Steiner. It's Rudolf Steiner's spirit cosmology.
I'm going to look into
that to kids.
That's great. Because, I mean, what he basically did is just split Satan into two distinct type different frequencies that in a way are a right hand, left hand of the same monster, but they're so different in what they do and how they do it. But they eventually always, like the thing that Rudolf Steiner always says is that eventually Lucifer always leads to Ahriman. He might take you, he might give you a ride, but eventually he'll hand you over to Ahriman, like, because Lucifer will make you use all your energy until you're depleted. And then when you're depleted, that's when you, depletion, right? Emptiness, automation, that's Ahriman's territory. So he will literally hand you over to that side.
Then he'll zero you out.
Oh, Ahriman will try to zero you out, definitely.
Love and fear, and then you have to balance those two.
Right? Because Lucifer is all about the trickery and the seduction and the arrogance. And like, oh, you just enjoy it selfishly and all that kind of thing. But that will lead to basically you not being responsible, not being balanced, wasting energy, poisoning yourself arguably because of an experience you want. And then eventually, that starts wearing on you. You lose more than you would if you follow the middle path. You will build less strength, and then you'll be weakened in the end. Like that temporary rush, right? And that is, again, typically associated with like Satanism. It's just like enjoy everything selfishly until you run out and then you die or something, right? That's exactly what Lucifer does. In that cosmology.
Mystic mindset.
Yeah, but I mean, Rudolf Steiner was a mystic. A very successful one, if I might add. Like, his model is like the best I've ever heard.
In Christianity, with the devil, right? You got Trinity, right? That's the left hand of the devil. Oh, you were talking about dividing this evil. And so, in essence, if you look, a lot of them have already done that. So the devil may not be cut in half, but he's got a left and right side.
Interesting. Yeah. But I mean, Rudolf Steiner's cosmology is not anti-Christian. It's just different. It's anti-churchian. It refuses to recognize the specific theocratic originated models, right? And embraces much more complex existential systems and esoterica. And it's just way more functional, in my opinion. Because there's like misconceptions that have come in through like the Catholic Church, like the creation of an eternal hell, right? That didn't exist when Jesus was there. That was not there. They made it. And there's all kinds of things that have been created spiritually and story-wise by the Catholic Church and by Christianity in that whole period. And Rudolf Steiner's basically like trying to get those man-made, priestly-made aspects kind of out of it again and making it real and more spiritual and more mechanical too, in that sense. Just more functional. And bringing Christ really to the individual, like about walking the middle path. I mean, it's like very specific about that. Where the individual becomes the center of the religion again, of the faith. Right. But I mean, like Jesus even, Rudolf Steiner even like has doubts about like the original Christ story. Like when I dig into it, there is a reference to the Christ spirit, but the Christ spirit is not the man. And it's not even certain whether he was the man. It's like it's almost kind of like left open a bit.
But I think this is the idea of the Trinity, right? Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost. That would be the Holy Ghost is the Spirit
Maybe,
you're speaking of.
but the Trinity is technically not biblical. Although, strangely enough, in priesthood circles, it's been vastly popularized, and like a lot of those priests believe in it. Orthodox Christianity too, but it's like it's not actually biblical. It's a priestly thing that's
I understand what you're saying.
perpetuated by man believing in it. But I mean, yeah, it's interesting. It's an interesting thing. It's just not something you should like hold eternity on to, like your spiritual eternal life depends on it or something like that. That seems ridiculous. It's just a mechanical system. It's a map on how to look at it in a way, esoterically. But I mean, so is Rudolf Steiner's.
One basket. I said, don't put all your eggs in one basket. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, but it's like that key. That's the key thing that also made me that I speak out against with most Christians is that the riddle. I call it like the magical riddle. Like, if you don't believe Jesus died for our sins, you go to hell, right? That's a trick. It's an all or nothing. It's like, if you don't unconditionally repeat something, whether you understand it or not, you gotta pay the ultimate price. That's a trick to me. Like, how could believing something be the ultimate, deciding factor whether you go to hell or not? It seems crazy.
It's a loop. That's why.
Yeah, but it's like a lawyer trick, but within theocracy. And it is devised by priests to get people to convert to them. It's a trick. That can't be real. It's more complicated than that. It's more subtle than that. Right? And I mean, if you really dig into it, it's also about just like understanding. I mean, if you just completely reject everything about Jesus, or that he even existed entirely, or that it meant anything, well, then you deviate. You're not gonna then eventually fall back into a pattern that brings all that benefit of actually walking the middle path, because you just don't even take it and you give it no heed at all. You give the structure no heed at all, right? And that's not gonna end well. You might become a Gnostic and then just get all polluted and shit. Think you're the god, right? That's the problem. But on the other hand, believing in Jesus and then like making it extreme to the point, if you don't believe that this specific thing that is said about him is absolutely literal, even though it's very hard to even logically make sense of it, you pay the ultimate price. That's the other end of it.
They're trying to treat it like a body of laws, right? It's not a legal system.
Right, I guess. Yeah. But yeah, it's like even within Christianity itself, there's like the middle path is just listen and see the wisdom of Jesus and try to apply it and understand it. And then there is, it's all not real and it's all delusional and it's a mistake and Gnosticism basically. And on the other side, like, it's absolutely super literal and everything that was ever said is absolutely literal, and now you have to like navigate through these specifics and do the right step at the right time or you're screwed. And that in a way is almost like Ahriman and Lucifer surrounding Jesus' teachings himself. It's fascinating when you think about it. The total abandonment or the overkill literalism.
No, that's too black and white. I mean, nothing in this world is that way, right? Things are shades of gray. Either or. Like you were making the point earlier, I was saying
right
about that, and you're right. I agree.
But I'm fascinated by that, and I always emphasize it's like, I call myself a Christian, but I mean, technically, a Christian is on the more extreme side of like taking it all so super literal. Like so many Christians are like that, And when you say like, no, but I don't take it that literal, they just like throw you at the sides like, oh, then you're not really a Christian. So many people do that.
Well, this is the throwing the baby out with the bathwater.
Yeah,
thing, right?
absolutely it is. They just don't find a middle path. They just can't have any logical compromise.
Just the whole thing. It's all or nothing.
Right. Well, actually walking the path and understanding Christ is like a dynamic thing. And even people, when they get into it, it's not just like, boom, you're everything from nothing. It's like, no, you grow into it. And you have like different levels of integration of its understanding and application to your life. Like, it's different levels to it. It's a frequency of getting into it. It's not just this
like a waveform.
one
The
way.
waveform builds. Yeah. Waveform builds.
Right.
The amplitude of the wave, the tightness of the frequency.
Yeah.
Frequency tightens up and the amplitude grows as the wave front increases in strength and energy.
Yeah, it's fascinating. Anyway, I really appreciate the conversation. I'm really glad I stuck around some more.
I enjoyed talking with you too. I sent your friend's request.
Yeah, I accept it.
Okay, thanks. Appreciate that.
Yeah, I'd love to talk some more about this sort of stuff when it comes up.
Would too.
Right.
Yeah, I was going to ask, can I ask the server owner, or is there somebody I can talk to about putting a link to my server?
Well, I have a server, but it's not really open to people. I just kind of use it on the background.
No, my server. I'm talking about putting a link to my server.
Oh yeah, yeah, sure you could do that. I mean, I'm a bit
there's a
overwhelmed with all the
channel.
links, though.
Oh, there is. Okay, I didn't see that. I'm sorry.
What?
Yeah, it's all.
You're saying there's a channel there that I would have.
Okay.
Actually, send it to me because the bot might destroy the link. So send it to me and I'll post it there.
What do you got? A Terminator bot right on the place? Hasta la vista link.
There's like settings that I don't know how to fix.
I know Discord is kind of quirky and clunky, isn't it? I'm a network administrator and a systems analyst, and I start to dig into these permissions and stuff, and I'm like, why did they do this? How do I get them? I don't know. They just really created a confusing paradigm, the way that they're all laid out and stuff, and how they precedents and orders of magnitude. Nuisance.
Right.
And I just got Discord to work good enough, right? That's like, yeah. I was just having to screw with the permissions on my server last night because somebody came on that was new. And like, well, I can't see it. And I'm like, what? You can't see it? What do you mean you can't see it? I gave you the tags. But no. Then I had to go over and tweak the tags on the channel itself. I'm like, what? Why would this even matter? Why am I having two sides of this administration? You'd never do that. You'd never give somebody, for example, roles, right, that they could perform things in a network environment, then shove out, roles or enforce roles onto them. In addition to that, the two things coming together, start to clash, and it can become confusing and scattered as to what's going on at any given time, right? What side am I looking at? All right, well, I should probably take off too because I forgot I've got to talk with one of the tenants. I always dread doing that. I told him I'd come over this weekend, and I see is it Saturday already? I'm looking at the date right. Did the week go by? And I thought it was yesterday. I thought it was Wednesday. It's horrible. And somewhere, I think about 11 p.m. last night, I realized it was Friday. Oh boy, this is what happens when you never sleep. They just all blur together. All right, well, it's been good talking to you, gentlemen. You take care now and speed.
Yeah, God bless, man. Cheers.
Care.
I've named and shamed the trolls.
Wait, what? Charles.
They're the 6 trolls that Arwen managed to trigger today.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Good work exposing them, Don. Good work.
Well, hopefully they'll stick around and actually participate with meaningful engagement, or they'll be revealing themselves.
Sorry, it's just a toilet break here. What did I miss?
Wow, that was you trapped me, Riggs. How dare you?
Yeah,
That's Kabbalah.
Right, so yeah, my show's been going for over 3 hours now. It's super long. But I'm glad I stuck around.
For over a week. Or 2 weeks now.
I don't want to talk to you.
Well, I think maybe you're I don't know, maybe you're excited about this new venture into Linux.
Also, yeah. I am. I'm very curious to just like how it's going to roll out. I'm kind of pessimistic typically. Yeah. But
yeah, it's gonna be fun, man. It's gonna be fun. Once
I
you
hope
pass
so.
A couple of the thing. Yeah.
I'm a little nervous about just like, especially what's not gonna work. Like, can I still play all the games that I like and all that? That's gonna be maybe a bit of an issue.
Well, the games should work fine, man. They're all out there, except like high-speed competitive shooters.
Right. Yeah. Well, I don't play those types of games. Oh, my games are all like at least 10 years old.
Yep. You're fine. You're super duper.
Awesome. Right. So yeah, I'm gonna be
actually now more than ever. They play really well. Like the same, if not better than Windows usually now. So.
Yeah, I'm curious to see how that's gonna work. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna round out my show and leave the panel for a bit. But I will talk to you through direct messages more about the Linux thing. Right, as soon as I because I still gotta like download the whole thing and all that and put it on a USB stick and then install it. I would like some instructions about that. So I'll get back to you about that after I leave.
Okay, yeah,
right.
For sure.
Yeah. Anyway, it's been a pleasure to join here, and appreciate all the conversations with everybody. So thanks for being part of the Flat Earth Early Bird number 2540. And I'll see you guys later.
Adios.
See ya. All right. Wow. What a conversation. I can't believe it was that long. But I mean, yeah, as soon as we got into like spiritual stuff, it just became really interesting. As soon as Helio got the hell out of there, because he was just being disruptive. Which he always does that. Oh, I just want to ask a question. Oh, no, you just want to disrupt everything. That's all you want. That's what he wants every time. And when he doesn't get the opportunity, he gets really obsessed. So, very annoying. Right, but I am also gonna round out my entire show. Follow me here on Rumble and be here when I'm going live, which is normally 2 p.m. Amsterdam time every day. And please also do support me through the PayPal, Patreon, Gifts and Go, also gift card. All links are all in the description box below, or send me super chat over at the Rumble live chat when the show is live, or subscribe to my channel. Support me that way. Any support would be greatly appreciated, and I like really use it now. So yeah. Please support your local Arwen. That would be great. Hope you still find me worth it doing that, because I really need it. I'm gonna run out of stuff. Right. So yeah, I will, if everything works, and I'm gonna be back tomorrow one way or the other. I might still do it through Windows. I don't know how long it's gonna take before I can get like everything set up to basically copy this setup with OBS and everything. It might take a while, but yeah, then I'll still have my backup disk with Windows to just start up from and then do these things without a problem. But yeah, I will be back tomorrow with Flat Earth Early Bird number 2541 on a Sunday. Hope to see you all then. Everybody have a great rest of this Saturday. Have a good weekend. And until the next video, keep it flat.